Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead.
And I am Nathan from Nathan Does Beer.
And welcome to episode 174 of Beer and Other Shit, the podcast Adjunct series. Nathaniel. First things first, new software. So see how it goes.
Yeah.
Very excited. We had a few little issues, but we're on. It's clear. It's clean. Loving it. Second, tonight we're going to Quebec.
We are.
Like we said recently, it's something that we've been wanting to focus on a lot for 2024 was to really rep for Quebec heavier. And I don't know if it really gets much heavier. So earlier on, a few episodes back, we covered our top brewery for Ontario for 2023. And if you don't mind me spoiling now, we are going to our top brewery in Quebec for 2023. We are. I totally forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up. This is fantastic. And this is a brewery that we had on about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago. And that's pretty ridiculous that it has been so long, particularly because they were down the road from me for years. But we're making it happen. These guys have like carved a whole lane. I feel like these guys are essentially responsible for, at least in the top three breweries, very aggressively responsible for Quebec's reputation for New England IPAs. They've changed the game a lot with smoothies, with big pastry styles, barrel aged stuff, their farmhouse stuff, their crispies now. Like there's nothing that these guys can't do. Fire Westies, like it's spectacular. The tap room and the patio are just second to none. Food is killer. The vibe is great.
And also just bringing that quality of beer to all corners of the province too.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things of other breweries had been doing it for a couple of years prior, but it was super exclusive and hard to get your hands on. Whereas I feel like that's less the case so with this one.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little difficult at first because it was moving so quick, and now it's definitely a lot easier to access, which is great for the people. And the best part about that is the quality has only gone up, which typically you wouldn't see with maybe a larger scale, which we'll get into. So let's just fucking get this going. So, folks, please welcome Marc-André from Messorem in the building.
Hey guys.
Welcome, brother.
That was weird. All good.
I gotta, we gotta make sure that we brought the people for you.
Yeah.
You know the vibes. Bro, first of all, great to see your face. Thank you for taking the time to hang out. It's fantastic to have you back on, man. It's been way too long.
Thanks for inviting Messorem, and that is me, so thanks for having me.
It's an honor and a pleasure. So, all right, first things first, we got a wicked lineup of beer that you have prepared for us this evening. So, what are we starting with?
Nope.
There he is. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the Il fut un temps indulgent, or how you say that in French? Indulgent?
Indulgent.
And tell us about this beer, because I'm just going to fuck up all the French words.
So, il fut un temps means once up. No, not that. Il était une fois was once upon a time.
Yes.
But il fut un temps, I don't even know how to translate that, but it's pretty much the same meaning, I think.
Okay. I noticed on Untapped, there's.
So what?
I noticed on Untapped, there's a version of this beer with the little hat on the U, and then this beer is the only one that doesn't have the hat on the U. Is there a difference? Is that like some sort of saying or something?
Thank you for telling me. Yeah, that's a little error on my side.
Well, the good part is that the Untapped matches the can, so the can label also doesn't have the you got the proper glassware there. The can label doesn't have the hat on there, so I thought maybe there's like, sometimes in French you have one little accent thing and then it changes the meaning.
Yeah, it's just missing the accent right now.
Okay, I like it without it. It's better. And tell us about this beer. So Mexican lager, from what I understand, it is hopped with Moteca.
Yeah, since I don't brew the beer, I can't tell exactly what's in it. But it's we really wanted to have to make a light, easy drinkable Mexican lager, and I think we did great with that one. It's super easy to drink, and yeah, it's fun.
Looks gorgeous, gentlemen. Cheers. Get that
Cheers.
in you.
Cheers, guys.
The head is crazy. Nose is amazing. Wow, that's
Oh, yeah.
spectacular. The Moteca is a great hop for a Mexican lager. I almost feel like I don't think I've ever even seen that before.
No, I definitely don't think I have.
Yeah, that's super dope, man. And so yeah,
so
yeah,
and flaked corn in this as well from the look, like from what it says on the can.
flaked corn.
Yes.
Okay.
I think their Mexican lagers are usually made out of corn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I'm not wrong, but yeah, I don't brew the beer, but yeah, we used corn for that one, and I don't know if you guys add this little lime taste while drinking it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, it tastes a
But
bit like
Moteca does that. It's like like that's something it very often gives off like a lime zest, like kind of thing. Which like, and I was just thinking like that's actually kind of a perfect hop for a Mexican lager because of that.
maybe that's why Gabriel decided to do a dry hop with Motueka on that one, since you can get the zesty lime, so it's a good fit, and
Yeah.
I really like it.
No, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it in a second about how dope your crispies are lately, because I feel like that's what people might not know you for, but that's really what's been going down a lot. But yeah, the beer is spectacular, incredibly crushable. This is one of the best Mexican lagers I think I've ever had. Like, just the nose, it's so clean. It's fucking beautiful, and the artwork. Obviously, this is your department here. All the art, is it like abstract, or does it like have a meaning as far as the beer or the name or anything like that? What's the vibes?
Okay, this beer, this label is something you guys will probably laugh at me, but so it's supposed to be. I don't know the word in English, but you know what Hill Farmstead logo is? You know,
Yes, the hourglass.
The what?
Hourglass.
Hourglass.
HOUR glass. Yeah.
If you put that on that side,
Yep, I see it.
It's that, but really abstract. And since it was a Hill Farmstead logo, kind of didn't want to use anything close from their logo, so I went a bit crazy and I just put it on horizontal, and then I came up with this. It's abstract. It's some colors, some shapes.
I love it. Was this beer inspired by Hill Farmstead that you're aware of?
Oh no, not really. You know, because Messorem is all about time. You know, it's born to die. It's we're all gonna die. All beers are beer names. It's all beer dead related, and so il fut un temps means like it used to be that time, or it used back in the day, back in the days. I don't know. I'll just translate that, but it means like back in the days, there was something. So il fut un temps, it's just like time is flying, and I had to find a way to use an image or something to, you know, so people can
represent time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a time something. So, and a clock would have been too easy. And I did one with I did a clock with Dynamite for a collab with Vitamin C, and I think it was pretty much around the same time. So I didn't want to do another clock, so I took a different path.
Well, the hourglass is appropriate.
Very much. And I just Googled it at Google Translate and said there was a time. That's what that was the direct.
Voila.
But it is Google, so who knows if it's fucking true.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic. So maybe we could even just touch on it now. But your Crispies, when we hung out in August last year when we were in town, you gave us the tour that because I guess I hadn't been back in a few years and seen the expansion. It's fucking bonkers, and we will talk about that. But one thing you said to me that I thought was interesting was that the crispy, correct me if I'm wrong, bro, the crispy beers are essentially outselling the haze. Is that correct, or did I misremember that?
Yeah, I think at the beginning when we first started, obviously people were maybe like there was not many IPAs and double IPAs in Quebec, so it was something else, and when we first opened, people kind of they visited us and they got into Messorem, and we were all that brewery that was all about IPAs and double IPAs. That was a bit like what people thought of us back in the days, and so yeah, we just decided to do different stuff and to touch a bit of everything. But if it's not good, if we're not good at it, we won't go there, or we'll try something, like we will never put something that we're not proud of on the market. So when we do something, we want to do it the right way. So the lagers had to be very, very good to us, for us, our own taste, and so yeah. I think with the time, people started to get into our lagers and crispies, and they're way cheaper than double IPAs or like smoothie sours and stuff. And, they're just easy to drink and people love them. So yeah, they sell really fast. It's incredible.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what, I mean, I could probably take a guess, but what proportion of your lineup these days is lagers? Like how many lagers do you typically have on offer compared to IPAs?
Good question.
Wow, I can't tell exactly, but we have 4 lagering tanks that are running nonstop. So we do the lagering for like 2 months, pretty much. So there's the turnout is not that fast, but and since we only have 4 lagering tanks, I don't know, maybe like a fifth of our production, because we have a lot of tanks for the rest,
Yeah.
pale ale, single IPAs, double IPAs, triple, double. I don't know why I said single and triple, and I think I said pale ale, single, triple, and I skipped double. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
They have a different room.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense, though. I mean, that's if you've got essentially 4 lagers on at a given time, and like that's a reasonable proportion. And I guess your lines have grown. Last time I was there, I feel like there must have been fucking 20 taps?
I think we're at 32 now. Yeah.
Taps.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wow.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Like that's more than most beer bars. Never mind most breweries.
Yeah, I mean, we had to. It was 20 wasn't enough, and we wanted another a fridge to pour beers that we like to play with temperature. So stouts, we prefer pouring them just a bit colder than room temperature. So we have a little fridge just for the stouts, and then we have another fridge, the cold space that we put the kegs in. So the one with the barrel aged saison and the grisette, and stuff like that, it's a little bit warmer than the one with the log for the lagers and IPAs, single IPAs, pale ale and stuff. So we had to have a different options of
I love that attention to detail to make sure that each style is served at the ideal temperature.
Yeah, I mean, you guys ever had a really cold, badass barrel aged stout? When it's cold, it feels like tin. It doesn't taste much, but as soon as you warm, like when you warm it up, you get the flavors are more present. And
you get so much more. When a couple of months ago, when we had Troy from Badlands on, we were finishing with the bourbon barrel aged Trinilla, and he was telling us he told us to take the bottle out of the fridge before we started recording. So it had warmed up. So it had warmed up after about an hour 45. By the time we actually cracked it open, which was definitely the right call. It had certainly opened up a fair bit by that time.
Yeah, Troy's a good guy.
Yeah.
What's up, Troy?
Oh, yeah.
If you ever watch this,
he does. He messages me all the time.
Really? Nice.
He'll say this one. I'll text
him. Yeah,
that's
the way to do it. It's you get much more from pouring room temperature, and we little story here. We had a beer fest in Poland last month. So me and Boris, a guy from on our team at Messorem, we went there, and it was flash coolers, and when there's nothing you can do. It's pouring cold as fuck. So you can play with temperature, but it doesn't work. It's always cold anyway. So we found bottles, like empty bottles, that the festival was giving to all the breweries there. So we stole a few bottles here and there. There was maybe a 750 millimeters bottles. So we had 5 or 6. So we were pouring a stout, barrel-aged stout, bourbon barrel-aged stout, pouring in those bottles. I was going to the restroom and just using hot water and just putting the under the water to make sure that the beer gets warm.
Oh, my God.
Yes, yeah, we did that for a 20 liters P-Tainer keg. So it was and Bart's like, "Yo, you gotta go back to the restroom. There's no more stout." And I was like, "Fuck!" Just pouring the bottles, and I was leaving, and people were just like, "What the fuck are you guys? What the fuck you're doing?" But when they first tried the cold version of it, like the cold, they tasted it cold. I was like, "Yeah, you taste it. It's 10. It's you don't get a flavor, right? Taste that one." And it was night and day. Yeah, totally a different product. So, and I think they're not really excited when it's cold. People are just like, eh. And you can see on Untappd, they're like, oh, 325, 350. When it's room temperature, they're like, whoa, best fucking stout ever. Pretty kind of. But and then it's 425, 450, and sometimes higher than that. But yeah, it's just gives you Untappd. I don't use it personally, but it gives you some hints of what's going on, But it's always fun to see.
That's some real numbers behind how much with beers like that temperature can really impact your experience, and like you're saying, the cold really does mute the flavors in it.
Yeah,
in a beer in a beer of that style, no kidding.
It's even very barrel aged saison or farmhouse saison, barrel aged farmhouse saison, or these kinds of beers are, for me, just a bit colder than room temperature. They're just perfect.
I love that. I feel like it's like I could think of one or two other breweries that actually have a system like that have the separate fridges. I know Harricana does, and I can't even think of anything in Ontario that I'm at least aware of. So it's very cool that you've, been able to finesse that. You have the space and the revenue to be able to separate that to give the optimal drinking experience of your product, which is fucking amazing, dude. And I guess that's the attention to detail, kind of what Nate was saying before. Like that's the attention to detail that like separates, incredible breweries from great breweries.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Hey, it's dope, man. It might not sound like much, but I really feel like think about, right, like how many, obviously you've been to a million breweries as well, like what's going to differentiate that experience when a lot of breweries have phenomenal, it's super fun. Like that's one way to elevate the product side. Like you can do different things as far as the the area and the food and the vibe and the music and whatever, but like the product has to be as good as you can possibly present it, and that's probably the best way, I would say, to have that full control.
That's cool, exactly, that's what we control. And it's the only part that we control is the beer, the product, and or brewery, the space that the people are, tap room and stuff, the patio, and that we control that, but we don't control the customers coming to Messorem. So the only thing that we control and that we want to make sure that if we're doing this right, people will probably or might come to Messorem if we're doing it right. So that the only thing we control is the beer, and that's where our minds are. It's, we only think about the beer, what we do, and how to fucking evolve and just get better and better. That's our main goal. Like Gabriel and Vince, they're still brewing, they're still there. Sebastian, our GM, is just like doing an incredible job. He's just like he's a beast. I don't like, without him I would probably be like dead. I don't know. He's just like he's like a part of my brain. He's telling me where to go, and actually he's telling Gabriel and Vince where to go too, because it's too much. We've been working hard since 2019 when we opened, but it's just like went kind of I don't know, a different level, and to keep that pace, and it's just Sebastian is just amazing doing everything for Messorem. And I don't know where I was going with that, but that's what we control, the beer.
The beer. That's what I was talking about. No, dude, it's so cool, and it's great you've got that team to help you out. I wonder, you talked on, I don't want to forget about this, so maybe we talk about it now. You mentioned Untapped, and it's a great thing to talk about because we were hanging with Bebo and Chris at the Moon recently, and they brought it up as well. And like the effect that Untapped has on breweries, not all breweries, but breweries like Messorem are definitely impacted by Untapped. I'd be just curious to hear your general thoughts. Like I know Nate doesn't use it, and you just mentioned you don't. I use it all the time, but I don't really look on the ratings as much. I don't really care. It's for me to remember if I've had the beer or not, because I do the reviews. That's really the only purpose. And sometimes it's interesting to learn more about the beer. Sometimes you'll be in a tap room, you want to order something, there's not enough information, so I can just go to Untapped, quick look it up, like, oh, that's what that is, it's got this hops and blah blah blah, cool, let me get that, like stuff like that, or see some pictures of it to see, if I want a real milky IPA, like does it look like that or whatever. So I really enjoy it, but I very much understand the negatives from a business side. So I'd just be curious to your personal thoughts on you can be as honest as you feel like, but like, yeah, like, is it annoying that Untapped has this much impact on a brewery? And like, is there positives to it as well? Like, what's the vibes?
I mean, at the beginning, it was sometimes frustrating, but not much. Not really. Like, I mean, I'm just On my personal side, I just find it really sad that people are down rating the Crispies, all the lagers and pilsners. They're like the most difficult beers to brew because they have to be perfect. And if you have like THP and stuff, something wrong with it, you will taste it. So you can't hide the flavors adding bunch of hops and like kilos and kilos of hops to kind of hide the bad flavors, bad taste. So I just think it's a bit of customers are sometimes a bit like selfish or like self-centered, and they don't know really what they're doing. While it's just a lager or pilsner, yeah, but they're just like the most difficult beers to brew. They have to be perfect. If they're not, you know it, And so when it's well done, just it worth more than a 3.25 because we know that a lager or a pilsner, it's around 3 and 3.75 on tap.
I'm looking at this one. This is 3.89 is the one we're drinking right now.
3.89
from everybody. Like the everybody rating is
for me it's 5. Like honestly, I would drink that shit like every day. It's not because it's Messorem. I did the little joke at the beginning, but Miller High Life, bandwagon probably, but it's so easy to drink. It's fun to drink. It goes down slowly and easily, and sometimes it's what you want, And I think for me it's the part that people are down rating the lagers and pilsners, and also sometimes the barrel age stuff, the barrel age saison, and there's a part in the US sometimes they like it more like on the tart side. More sourness, and if it's really sour, like and you're like dying because it's too sour, they're like, oh, they killed it, they nailed it, it's super good, but actually it's not. It's you gotta
it's extreme.
It's just like an extremely infected American wild ale.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, 4.75, yeah, but maybe not. It's this like a lager deserves more than that. That barrel age saison wild ale that is just like destroying your esophagus,
your palate,
esophagus, your teeth, enamel,
exactly, and everything inside of you. It's it's like burning you up. But
I couldn't agree more, and like we talked about this with with Derek from Brewski as well. It's one of those things of like, and this is certainly not the case for all Untapped users. Like not to paint everyone with the same brush, but I think that Untapped users, it tends to trend towards like haze heads and pastry stout heads and whatnot. I would say a fairly hefty proportion of kind of committed Untapped users is where that trends more. And one of the problems is that a lot of people tend to use it, like they use ratings. Like they kind of come up with their own system for what they rate. So if haze is their favorite, they're going to rate haze the highest. And if lagers are just kind of just okay for them, then like for me, a lager might the best lager I've ever had might be a 3.5, and like they're just kind of using that as their own reference point, which is fine. I mean, you use it the way you want, but understand that those ratings are not just for you. Like they actually really impact the business.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. And sometimes when a beer is really, really hard to get, when someone gets it, he's so stoked about having that beer that he's just like, he's out of his mind, and it's a 5. But even if the beer isn't good, it will be a 5 because it's so rare. He's so happy to finally have it. There's only 5 check-ins because there was only 100 bottles of that. So that person so stoked that it's a 5. But like, take off the label, take off the and just drink it. Is it that good? I don't know.
Or does it just have to be a 5 because of all of the trades that you had to do to make like to get that in your hands?
Yeah. Yes, and yeah, that's a bit weird, but that's the way it is, that's how people I can see, like, because of the Messorem Untapped, sometimes I go see stuff and I end up seeing what that person said on that beer. So I go on his profile and then I see the way he's rating the other beers that he's having. And sometimes I'm like, for real? Like, like stuff that he's rating super low, that they're super good. And sometimes he's some people are rating beers super high when the beers are not really good. But yeah, everybody has a different taste.
It's on the flip side then, and I agree wholeheartedly with both of you. Like, I've seen some people rate beers that I've had and I know are great, like 3 or 3.5, and then you look at how they rate and everything's on like a low type of thing. So I know the type. I had a dude reach out to me on Untapped in the DMs recently. He's mad cool, and he was like, I noticed that you rate, I very rarely rate anything under 4 because I don't drink shit beer because I know who makes good beer. And I also know that the breweries like I would trend on the higher side because of all the things that we're saying. Like, there's not that many Crispies that are going to be that much better than this. So this is like high 4s for me type shit. So that's like, my rating system is probably more in line, I think, of what it should be. And there's no way that this beer should have 3.89. Like, that's insane. And the next one we have, I think, is 3.93, which is also a Crispy, which is, I just double checked. So that sucks as well. So it does suck with that.
I mean, that's the way it is. That's the way the people are rating lagers and pilsners. And I mean, the three of us, we can't change that. We can't change that. We won't be able to change that. But maybe like just to put some awareness out there that those beers are kind of hard to brew, and
they deserve better.
They deserve better. Yeah, they're good for you, and you should be good to them.
They're good for you.
Lagers are good for you.
Can you write that down as the episode name?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's so good. So what about on the positive side? So if you look at it, like, I would imagine, and tell me if I'm reaching here, breweries who are very good at the styles that we talked about, typically New England IPAs and pastry stouts or barrel-aged stouts, those main things. Those breweries are rated higher on Untapped. So then they get pushed up in their country's rankings and therefore are talked about more in the scenes, because those particular styles, among a few others, but mostly those 2 styles, are the ones that people trade and that people get most excited about. So my guess would be that because Messorem is so renowned for haze, like I was telling you off air, I had a dude, I think he was in Minnesota, who I didn't know, reach out to me recently because they saw me with one of your beers, and he was like, yo, can you get Messorem regular? I'm like, well, not really, because I'm here in Ontario, but you should probably talk to some people in Quebec. And because he's like, yeah, man, I had some of their beers at a beer festival and they're fucking amazing, and I really want to get some more. So you guys, it's beautiful. Yeah, shouts to, I forgot his name. Shouts to him though. And
was it in Fargo? Was he in Fargo at Dreckers? Fuller's Ball at Dreckers.
He didn't say. It could have been, maybe, because if he was in, if I'm not wrong, I thought he was in Minnesota. Did you guys do a festival out there?
We did last month, just before going to Poland, like 3 days before going to Poland. We did a Dreckers festival called Fuller's Ball. So it's in Fargo, North Dakota. So it's like a 3 hours drive from Minneapolis, I think.
It might have been there.
close,
Yeah.
and I've met a lot of people from Minnesota there, so
Okay, so that could be it then. But you're making an impact when you're going to these festivals. You're making this impact. So then, looking at Untapped, so then people say they haven't heard of you, but you guys being at a festival with all of their other favorite breweries, it's like, oh, okay, so these guys must be fire. It's just like by association, they check it out and they're like, fuck, this beer is amazing. What's the deal? They go on Untapped, they see all the high ratings of all the haze and the stouts, and then the really high rating in Canada, like. Has there been a positive, an observable positive impact from Untapped on the brewery and on business?
I mean, I think it kind of opened the world to us. Some people heard of us in countries far from Canada because of that, and I don't know. We made some noise maybe out of Untapped, but I think that the fact that we really wanted, it's like a band, like we were all playing in bands before Messorem, and like we want to go on tour. We want to tour. We want to jump in that van and fucking play gigs everywhere. So that's pretty much the same. The same mental idea behind Messorem. We wanted to go on tour. We wanted to do festivals and stuff. So we went to some festivals. We met some breweries. We brought some beers here and there. So some people in the industry got our beers, and slowly like that, we met so many people, and we got invited to that festival. And then this brewery at that festival is like, hey, I'm putting up my festival and next year in June, so want to come on it. And like it's I don't think it's Untapped that did that thing for us in the United States, but I think for the rest of the world, Untapped did pretty much. Some importers, import distributors, actually, the right word. The distributors in all over the world, they came to Messorem, and we've just to meet us, and we had conversations and meetings with them. And I think this is what maybe like Untapped, or like being part of some festivals, did open some opportunities for us in the rest of the world. And and our distributors are doing a really good job. So I think it's pretty much it.
Okay.
Guillaume from the Catch was telling me that for those like European imports and whatnot, he was telling me that the kind of criteria for that is that basically Untapped is kind of the only thing that like those ratings are kind of the only thing that matters.
He did say that. Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, well, just in terms of in terms of the beers that they're interested in, like there are probably other factors, but from what he was telling me, it sounds like Untapped ratings are like the prime factor in in which ones they'll choose to to import to serve to the European market and whatnot, or that they're going to bother to have shipped over.
Okay, but there's a Untapped is I don't really use it. I was using it like 10 years ago. It was a big thing for me 10 years ago, but right now in Europe, it's you go to Beer Fest and people are crazy on Untapped. They're just like they're like,
oh yeah,
they're like exactly like it used to be here 10 years ago. So right now in Europe and the rest of the world, Untapped is like booming. It's massive. But here it's kind of dead. You go to the States, you don't see that many people doing it. You'll see some, but it's just a different. So I don't know. I don't know I don't know what they're looking for, the distributors, but maybe we made enough noise out there so we can get our name out there, and so people discover us. It's I don't know, maybe we're just lucky, and maybe the beers are good, so maybe it's a bit of both, just a bit of magic.
I'm pretty sure the beers are good.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, they're drinkable, and I enjoy them. We enjoy them, and it was the only thing that matters for us. For me, Vince, Sebastian, and Gab, it was just we wanted to brew beers that we would enjoy, like ourselves, like and
yeah.
We're pretty hard on ourselves. We don't if that beer isn't good and we don't believe in that beer, we won't put it out. It's you won't have it. It won't be on the shelves. We'll fucking drink pour. It's for us. It's really important that we believe in what we do, and the product has to follow our own taste.
I love that.
So,
Yeah.
It's not about the money, it's about the quality.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Speaking of quality,
Yeah. That seems like a good
time for another quality brew.
That's right.
Okay,
that was nice. That was nice. Sometimes your segues are a bit sus, but I actually kind of like that one.
What?
My segues suck a lot. I try too hard, and I try and reach for good segues, but that one, I think I did okay.
Yeah, that was money.
Speaking of money,
okay, so now you brought yourself back again.
we are doing the Il était une fois sécheresse, which is the Helles lager. I have had this one, and it's a fucking banger, Nathaniel.
Yes. I don't think I've had this one specifically, but I've had other versions of this series.
Oh yeah, I've had this. I must have bought a 4-pack of it because I had it. 2021 the last time I had. I had this a hot minute ago. Oh, I'm excited then. So this is the other part of the series, the Il était une fois, like that's once upon a time. What's sécheresse? Like because séché, isn't that dry? So something about dry?
Yeah, it's dryness.
Dryness. Okay. I like it. Look, I'm fucking French, mate.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. And this is
Frenchiest Aussies ever.
Thanks, man. That means a lot because I've been away like almost 2 years and I forgot a lot of French.
Do you have to do this too?
Yeah. Ooh, look at that head, man. Ooh, yeah. Show the mandem that head. So this is the once again 5% Helles lager. Is there anything that you are aware? I know you said before, obviously you didn't brew the beer, but is there anything you know about this particular beer that is good for the people to know?
The only thing I can say is I like the colorways on the label, and I think it's really easy to drink. I love it. It's one of my favorite lagers, Pilsner, actually. No, lager. But yeah, it's one of my favorite from that series, and
Wicked series.
I love that little book from Il était une fois.
Yes, Once Upon a Time. That's why it's a book. I never thought about that.
Back in the days, it used to be only the like the weird shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it was like an army camo pattern. And I just thought that it didn't make sense at all with the name of the beer. So I brought that pattern right on the front cover of the book.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So behind the little skull,
that's
it used to be that pattern all over the can. So yeah,
that's attention to detail. That could be an episode name right there. Once again, gentlemen.
Also. Geez, look at this head retention. That after we poured, still when we're stirring it, like it's still. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, nose is great. Just smells like Helles.
Yep.
What did we just say?
For glass for that.
Say that again.
Yeah, I didn't have the proper glass for that, so
Oh,
just
you
give
got.
me a second. I'll.
Okay, I like that. See, attention to detail. There you go.
There you are.
Because I forgot the name.
Pilsner
Ooh.
Urquell.
I
Mini
love
ball.
it.
Yeah.
Fucking yes.
Cheers,
Get that in
boys.
you, boys. Cheers,
Cheers.
legends. Wicked nose. That is so delightful. It's so grainy. So
I
much
get the-
cereal.
Do you guys get the honey?
Yes. Yes. Not too much though. It's kind of like there's such a range with Helles I can find. Like like some people make them like really quite notably sweet. Like this I find is just a touch. It's actually quite dry throughout, and like there's just kind of that little tinge of sweetness that comes through at the end, but like Craig said, it's quite grainy, and like that's really the prominent profile that I'm getting from this, and only minimally bitter too at the at the end.
Yeah, wicked malty sweetness,
Mm-hmm.
super crushable. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot.
love the cereals.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm probably asking too many questions, but do you know what grains are in it? Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a whole bunch of whatever. That's a different question. Yeah,
just have Gabriel on that podcast. You did the first time you did the podcast with us.
You and Vince. It was you and Vince.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. We sat at the table in the bar and we drank Fossier's, like 4 cans of it.
Oh, I remember. It was pandemic.
It was January or February 2020. It was right before the pandemic, and we got fucked up because we kept drinking Fossier's. We just kept cracking cans. It was
maybe it's a good thing I don't remember.
Well, I barely remember myself. Hey,
maybe I passed out. I don't remember.
Well, you might have, because we did go pretty hard on the doubles, and like I think I can't really drink Fossier's because of that day. It's like
okay.
It's you know what, you get too fucked up off one beer, and it's sort of like that podcast with Troy. We drank that Trinilla stout. I got so fucked up. I was really struggling drinking stouts for the last 2 months. It's been it was rough. It's it's a good.
Yeah, at the beginning of Messorem, we only had like double IPAs or, strong IPAs, and so maybe when we did that podcast, that's probably what we had. Like 3, 4. No, I remember we had the quad. We had the quad. The quad IPA. It was our first quad IPA or something, or like
yeah.
Well. I remember. I kind of remember.
I feel like here we go. The episode was called "It's Just Fucking Beer," and it's me. Oh wow, you look so different.
That came from me.
Do we say the beers? Okay, maybe I didn't say what I used to. Maybe I didn't say what beers we drank. But on the table is a whole bunch. Oh, we're all holding cans of Fossier's, and there's a whole lineup of cans in front of us, and one of them was that Quadra. The one you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's good times. Good times. Yeah. But yeah, this is fantastic. I think obviously back then there was no Crispies. Yeah, this is just such a fantastic Helles. And I feel like when I think of a Helles lager, this is a little more ballsy than a typical Helles. With that, I don't know if I don't know how else to describe it. It's like meatier. There's like more going on. Usually Helleses are like maybe a little like completely see-through and super kind of light, where I feel like this has got like, obviously it's it's clear as well, but there's maybe it's like grain profile is a little elevated. You know what I mean? I'm not explaining it well.
See, I don't know if I would agree with that. I would I think that Helleses like among lagers tend to be a little have a little more heft,
punchier.
Yeah, well, like I don't know about like punchier is not really the right word, but they tend to have a bit more body, and like they've got usually a bit more malty sweetness to them, and like just kind of a bit more of like a grainier heft, I would say is pretty typical. Like lighter in bitterness and like and a bit more in like in malty sweetness and body.
Okay, so I might be getting it confused with something else. I'm still like, I can't always pick this type of stuff, but in my head, that's what I pictured. So I think I have that wrong. So this is good. This is fantastic, man. There's so much going on. It's only 5 even, right? 5%.
Yeah, I think this is right on the money.
Yeah, this is fantastic, dude. Is this as far as the lagers? Then I know we've been drinking because we're drinking and we're talking about them more. We're going to move on to some haze in a bit, but how often, because obviously there's a whole bunch, and if you check the variety that you have, you've got a whole bunch of the Illitain Foie and then the Il Fut de Temps, Il Fut en Temps series. How often do you rotate them? Like, is it like 2 from each series on all the time, or like, or is it just more like
that would be a good question for Sebastian? Yeah, he's the one kind of deciding when the beers are going into tanks and stuff when we're brewing. It's a good question for Sebastian. I don't know. But they come like kind of randomly. If we brewed that beer like 3 months ago, we will probably wait a little bit for that one and we'll go with another one. So we try to bring the products at the beginning. We had in mind to bring every beers like 3 times a year, pretty much. So it will be like every 4 months or something.
Gotcha. I like that. And that does, I mean, it's probably another brewing question that might not be relevant, but I always love when breweries do that because it means that they're able to tweak the recipe and get it better. So the next time you have that beer, it's going to be better than the last time you had it, which is sick.
Yeah. And even if it's not, I mean, you always have to evolve and get, you know, what you did wrong with that beer. If, you know, you release that beer like 3 times and there's always a little something that you think that is off. Mm-hmm. You know, like what you did, and you just try to fix it, you know. And I think we did that with all of our beers, and I think it's the right way to do it, you know. And you know, if we do a dry up of something and we use too much Sabro, maybe like we'll use a little less, or maybe we'll use a little more. So because I'm not a brewer, so I don't play with the with that shit. But you know, sometimes more Sabro will taste less Sabro. It's kind of crazy to play with. I don't remember the alpha acid and stuff. Using while using with different hops, it can do different stuff. Yeah, I don't brew. We should stop talking about brew. I just hear stuff, you know, and we talk about it and we get the results. So I don't know how about in general. I just hear that in some beers that we added more Sabro and it tasted less Sabro because of the alpha acid and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, you always have to fix little things here and there.
That's interesting.
And I think that's pretty on point with like with other things that we've heard, especially about Sabro. Sabro just seems to be one of those funny hops that like really interacts differently with with the other hops that it's paired with, and can be a pretty divisive one on how it's interpreted. So if it's one of those ones that comes forward really like coconut strong, that might be great, but if it leans too much to taste like sunscreen, then that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, using less, maybe it will taste more because of the other hops that you're brewing. But
yeah, it's not just it's not just a straight match of like this flavor with that flavor, but like there's something more going on at the chemical level that can bring up those those certain aspects of it and those less appealing flavors.
yeah, Sabro is not like Nelson Sauvin that everyone is, you know,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, not anymore. It was for a bit.
It was. Oh my god, yeah. Like, but if you go back to
For like a week.
yeah, I would say for longer than that. Even if we go back to
Yeah.
like if you go back to like 2016, like people were losing
that
their
when it
shit for
was?
several. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the milkshake IPA time,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a perfect. I think it was the perfect hop for a milkshake IPA.
Mhm.
But
That's a good point. Yeah, it gave a
it's
little element.
anymore.
Not so much. The goat hop right now. I don't know about you if you have a goat hop, but Peacherine, it's got to be the one. Like it's the fucking greatest hop going.
Yeah.
Which one?
Peacherine, freestyle. Yeah,
Featuring, yeah.
it's in
I
New
don't-
Zealand.
We
Like,
never did anything with that, so I never had anything with Peacherine. I
oh,
don't think.
dude, talk to Guillaume.
Yeah.
At Catch.
Guillaume from the Catch calls it the cheat code hop. Like it's
Oh,
impossible
really?
to make a bad
can't-
beer with it.
Yeah, everything is like.
yeah.
I will talk to Troy. Troy uses it a bunch. Badlands like uses it
Yeah.
there. I guess Bebo and them too.
Yeah, I
It's,
think
Yeah,
so.
we're late in the game.
I know. I'm actually. I'm really surprised actually because I feel like you guys are on top of this stuff. I'm sure the brewers are well aware, and they just it
Maybe
might
we-
be like hard to get.
Maybe we did.
Yeah, maybe you did.
I think it is hard to get.
Drew.
Like I remember when we were talking to Drew about the collab and you and I were pushing really hard for Peacherine, but I think there's just there's just very limited contracts on it.
Yeah, he did. We just did a collab with Kanawaki for their anniversary, and when we were coming up with the ideas, the first hop that we were like was let's get Peacherine, and he was like he couldn't get it. Like it's really tough to get. But you I feel like you might have to contract it early. Anyway, we digress. This is amazing. One thing I wanted to talk, even just from the beginning, because I know we sort of went on different tangents, but like the last time we chatted on the pod was like early 2020, and then now it's May 2024. Maybe you want to talk us through. I know the answer might be long or whatever, but like, and I imagine a lot of things have changed. But yeah, what's been going on between 2020 and 2024 for Messorem? Being that the time we did the last pod, you were probably 5 or 6 months old, which is interesting. I didn't realize. I thought it was 2018. So you guys were mad young, and now you're about to turn 5. So what are some of the big changes that you guys have gone through with the brewery in the last 4 years?
The big changes. I mean, we started a few months before the pandemic, so we see our brewery as a pandemic brewery, pandemic business. So it was pretty hard. We worked, our asses off, and so it wasn't an easy start, but I don't know. We see where we're going, and we control what we can control, and we're all in. We wanted to, like I said earlier, go on tour. Do stuff, do beer fest everywhere. So I think that the name is traveling. People hear about Messorem, so we get more and more tourists. People are visiting from everywhere in the world. So today at the brewery, we had the World Poker Tour, and apparently they're huge. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Apparently they're a huge craft beer drinkers, and one of them had a Monkish T-shirt. So I was like, okay, they know what they like, and apparently it's the players that asked the
organizers
exactly that they wanted to go to Messorem. That was that's what they had in mind, and so that person in Montreal didn't even know Messorem. So she planned everything. She did. She talked with Alex, our manager, and yeah, they were here today, and they were so stoked to be there. I mean, the word is traveling. the fact that we get people from all over the world is pretty crazy. At the beginning, we the first festivals that we did outside of Canada, it was it was putting our name on the map. It was just like getting our name. If there's someone that really likes what we do, that's a win for us, And in every state in the US, we got some people that kind of fell in love with us. So, and they were like, "Yo, you're my favorite Canadian brewery!" Wow, wow. And then they talk to their friends and stuff. Oh, his brother is going to Montreal, so he's sending them here in Montreal. So he's bringing cans back to Delaware, and people get into us. So the first, Delaware, talking about Delaware, we did Dewey Beach Fest last year. In 2023, and then we did it in 2024. But 2023, it was, we were that Canadian brewery that no one, for us, like driving there, me and Sebastian were like, "Yo, we're going to Delaware. No one will care about us," But it was totally crazy. We had friends from all the breweries helping me and Sebastian pouring beers because there was a big line in front of us, and that moment, I was just like, I was shook. I was like, "Oh my fucking God, what's going on?" We had the other half brewer behind us. We had Josh from
Mortalis.
Yeah, exactly. He was behind us, and they were just like, "What the fuck? Like, who the fuck are you guys?" And everyone were helping us, like pouring our beers, and that's where it all started. I think it's all the breweries at those festivals. We got friends with them, and they invited us to their festivals, and the name is traveling. And I think it's the biggest changes from the first time we did the podcast that I didn't remember. It was only Montreal, it was just like, because when we first opened, we thought of having like a little fridge and some 4-packs. So if you like that beer that you're having on tap, you can leave with a 4-pack at home. That's what we had in mind. But we didn't know that on the first day, people will, do a line in front of the brewery, and then we sold out in 2 days, and there was like no more beers. So it was really weird at the beginning, because you can't expect that from when you open a business. You're more like scared of like, "Oh, will we make enough money to pay the rent? Will we?" And it was weird. We weren't expecting that, and it's just a good surprise for us. And I think the big changes from there is just like evolving, getting better and better, and focusing on our main goal was to just go on the road, and that's what we do. Leaving for Budapest in 5 days. Big festival there. We're traveling a lot this summer. Like after Budapest, I'm going there for 5 days. Coming back here, we're going to Human Robot for their festival, and then week after is Holmes, Nucleate. So we're like, it's one after the other. We're just like all summer long. Wow. It's pretty crazy. It's gonna be one hell of a ride this summer. But just like we're doing what we dreamed about, what we dreamed of when we started Messorem. That's what we had in mind. We didn't want to be just a brewery that will we had like a big vision, not of being like popular, like or like being that brewery that is killing everything. I mean, we like to say killing because Messorem is the Reaper. So we try to kill stuff. It's we like to think that we're killing it because we have the Reaper. It's Messorem is the Reaper. That's the Latin word for the Grim Reaper. But yeah, we had that. That's what we wanted. We just wanted to travel and to have fun and not being kind of like that cool brewery, you know. Like I know we made a lot of noise when we first opened. Some breweries were kind of mad about us because we were doing this and doing that, and it was against, you know, what Quebec used to be. You know, it was, you know, like big fucking like saison and like Belge, bière Belge, you know, like more traditional, you know, Quebec.
Yeah.
You know what Quebec is.
Oh, yeah.
It's I grew up, you know, like I started drinking beer with Unibuhu. You know, it's Quebec used to be the mecca of craft beer, but it kind of slowed down a little bit in I don't know, like maybe like 10 years ago, and the rest of the world blew up, and it was just craft beer became something that Quebec wasn't aware, and people were just like in Quebec, they were just like buying what there was on the shelves. But at the end of the I mean, the world is always going forward, and what happened out there, you know, in the US, it's just like people were hungry, you know, like they wanted to push that craft beer to another level. And then we just, you know, like me, Sebastian, Vince, we were traveling to the US all the time because it was impossible for us to get what we wanted to drink, because, you know, first time you had Treehouse or Trillium or Harder Half, you were pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's something else. And when Foam opened in Vermont, we were there every 2 weeks. It was just like, and traveling to Vermont every 2 weeks, it was just like we had to do something. So Vince was a home brewer, and he told us, I'm gonna try to brew a hazy IPA, and we're like, let's do this, you know, let's go. And if it works, you know, Sebastian is in business management and finance and stuff, and about, you know, like everything about the money and the management side. And I was a graphic designer, and I studied marketing and stuff. So we thought that if Vince was doing brewing good beers, maybe we had like what it takes to open something. And yeah, the first beer he brewed, it was amazing. So we just were like, yeah, we have to do it, because we don't want to go to Foam every fucking week to get 4-packs and get like limited to 8.5 liters at the Borders, because that's all you can bring back to the country, you know. And that was a pain in the ass. So that's why we did that, you know. We wanted to have our own beers, without like driving fucking like 2 hours to Vermont, and then, you know, driving back and get fucked at the Borders, because you know, you guys did that. You guys done that before.
Still doing
there.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
I mean, I go to Foam often because it's, you know, like but not for the same reasons, you know. It's
Yeah.
I just like to go there, and have like everything they do is great. They're just like cool dudes. They're like actually the best dudes.
They are great.
Then, it's just a nice spot to be. When you're on the patio, like in front of the brewery, and you see at sunset with Champlain, the Lac Champlain in front of you, with the Adirondacks in the back. It's
so gorgeous.
Oh, I feel like I want to go like right now. Like,
yeah.
Meet you guys there.
Yep, just okay. Like that's the end of the podcast right
Yep,
there.
we're
It's-
done.
we're on our way to foam right now.
Cole Bobby, get him to open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about something because because the beers are one thing that that was certainly not really seen much in Quebec, save save one or two breweries before before you guys. But I mean the rest of the province has certainly gotten wise and and caught up on that front. But another thing that I found unique in Messorem the first time, and I still find it fairly unique now, is the tap room experience there. Like you guys have a very large, gorgeous tap room inside and out, and for anyone who's been will know, you've got the vines hanging hanging down from from behind the bar and everything, with this huge wall of taps and a big huge tall ceilings inside, and a massive patio, which is just the best in the in the summer. I'm wondering, was there anything that you modeled that after? Because I don't think I've seen another tap room like that anywhere in Canada.
Yeah.
No. We wanted to open we wanted to open in the southwest of Montreal because there was no bar, no restaurant that had a beer. There was one Asian restaurant that had that beer from BAOS. It was
Lug Tread? Not Lug Tread.
No, it was the one with Tom Green on it.
Oh, the milk stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that Asian restaurant on Notre Dame had that beer. It was the only craft beer that was available in the southwest of Montreal. There was nothing. It was all about 50s everywhere. And we just thought that, and we loved that part of the city. So me and Vince, he sold his condo because he got separated with his girlfriend at the time. A little split here on my side too. So I went back to my parents on the South Shore, and he went back to his parents on the South Shore. So we used to live in Montreal. We moved here a while ago. So going back to our parents was just kind of a pain in the ass. So, but at that time we were working on Messorem, and me and Vince were just like, hey, we're in the same boat right now at our parents. Let's move together. And since we want to open on the southwest of Montreal, let's move together. Let's find a pad here in the southwest. So this is where I am right now. But Vince went on Tinder, and he had a match, and then he has 2 kids, and he moved in the West Island. So I live by myself now, but still 5 minutes away from Messorem. We visited every fucking buildings on the southwest. And this is while visiting, we heard from someone that, hey, I just rented that place to some guys that will open a brewery right there. And it was Cathorigène.
Right.
4 origins for if it's in English. So so we didn't nobody knows that they were opening, but we knew because we were looking for a spot to open our brewery. So we're like, fuck, there's some people that had the same idea, because there was nothing here. So we found that spot, and when we got there, we looked at each other and we're like, that's it with the big tower. And we're like, can you imagine the people drinking, watching while watching that tower, that water tower? It would be amazing. It will be something special. So yeah, it had to be that place. And so glad that we got it. And we came this close from losing it from a honey distributor. They were first, so they told us, give us 3 weeks, call us back in 3 weeks, and we'll we'll know if you can sign the lease or not. And we called 3 weeks later, and he said like, yeah, we don't mind about the honey. We want that brewery. So let's do this.
Smart move.
So stoked, but so afraid at the same time, because it's a lot of work is coming, and it's kind of scary to look at what it's going to be, and you don't have much money, and so you're trying to play with what you have and with the ideas that we had at that time, and seeing it today as it is, it's pretty crazy. I get goosebumps sometimes. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like it was only 3 dudes going to the States to drink some beers and getting psyched and like super stoked about having that new Hotter Half beer, and having our own brewery now is just like, sometimes it feels unreal. I'll have a sip.
Yeah, that's worth a sip right there.
That's worth a sip.
Yeah.
So something that you said even earlier, which I'd like to touch on as well. This is great. Thank you for all these stories, man. I'm loving this.
That's why I'm here.
The story, man. Marc-André, the story.
And the money that you're offering me, yes.
And that's it, but let's keep that off. Let's take that offline. So I was in Montreal from 2012 to 2022, and I discovered haze, I don't know, 2016, 2015, something like that. And just like you, I wasn't able to get it at home. I had to come to Ontario because at the time I was stuck. I was dealing with immigration. I wasn't able to leave Canada for about 4 years. So I couldn't leave from, I don't know, 2013 until like September 2016.
Okay.
Long story. So I used to come to here and go to Bellwoods all the time and get their stuff and bring it back. And it drove me crazy that nobody was doing real haze. I know Le Trois Mousquetaires did some stuff.
It was Vince.
Oh, it fucking was.
Yeah.
I met Vince before you opened in 2018 at we realized it more recently at Collective Arts Liquid Art Festival.
Yeah.
And he came up and said hi, and he was like, hey man, I'm a brewer at Le Trois Mousquetaires. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, he was mad cool. And then we realized it later that like, fuck, I think he reminded me. He was like, yo, we met there. I was like, oh fuck. So there wasn't really much going on. And when you guys opened, it was such a huge thing for Quebec craft beer, not just Montreal, but for Quebec in general. I know, Orval did a bit, do some haze, and Bar Canada wasn't probably a year or two before you guys, but Bar Canada, you couldn't get it in Montreal, and I didn't have a car when I lived there. So to get it was essentially impossible for me. When you guys came to Montreal, it felt like everything changed. And I feel like at the same time, Brewski got their system installed. So then they were ramping up and doing haze. So it's almost like around August 2019 was when just everything changed for the province and the city. And it's so cool to me to see Montreal be a place that was a haze desert become like a haven that people are
back in the game, that Montreal will be back in the game, at that time.
Correct.
Because Montreal or like all Quebec was just like we
weren't into it.
Far from what was going on in the world.
Yes. And it pissed me the fuck off because I was like, yo, I want to be able to go somewhere nearby and get it. I remember coming, I think in your opening week and trying everything. And I was just like, this is what I'm waiting for. And kind of what Nate was describing, it felt like walking into, I think Nate was asking the question about the tap room because Nate, tell me if I'm right here, but for me, it felt like walking into a place in Brooklyn or Vermont.
Yeah.
It was like, this is unlike anything, even in Toronto, to be honest. It felt completely like American brewery style.
That's exactly what I like. What I was thinking of, and it actually reminds me of foam a little bit. In some ways.
I can definitely see that inspiration, and maybe you guys didn't intend it to be that way, but because you were there, now you said it, you're there every 2 weeks, you might have internalized.
You can see some inspiration, perhaps.
Yeah, and it was just like attention to detail, the color of the water tower, that teal is in all the accents, and I've given you props on the podcast that before. It's my favorite thing about your
Like
aesthetic.
the paint of the picnic tables and everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I want to say something about this.
Please.
At the beginning, the logo was green, more like apple green.
Okay.
And when we found that building, we decided to go seafoam or like aqua, the color of the water tower. Because of the water tower, we had to do something with that green. So we just changed the green to the tower. So
I love that.
Yeah.
It's perfect, man. It's so beautiful. So I think the impact of what you had at the time, it's like, it's not the same impact you've had now, which is even cooler to look back on after almost 5 years. I think at the time, for me, you guys represented a new renaissance, like a new era of craft beer in Montreal. And I'm not, like, it sounds maybe a little bit ridiculous, but I was always just annoyed that I couldn't get shit at home. And it was now you guys were there. And yeah, it was a little hard to get. And I didn't have a car, and it was harder to get to for me because I was in the Milan, but it was doable. It was different to driving to Toronto or driving to Vermont. So that was one thing that I just think was super cool. And I'm not going to say names. You said this before, and I think I know who you're talking about. So you can tell me if you want to say the name. But I recall a story, either someone told me or you or Vince told me, where a particular brewery, like a legendary Quebec brewery, said to you guys, "You're not going to make it. This is." You might have told me this, actually. I feel like it's you, and they were like, "Nah, bro, you guys are," and they were like mad that you existed, because what they do, even though they kind of do some of the stuff that you do, they were kind of pissed. And then over time, once again, you can say the name if you want. I'm not going to say it, but and over time they saw, oh, these guys really love craft beer. They're doing not just haze, they're doing all these other styles, crispies and stouts and farmhouse and all this stuff. And you guys proved yourselves to be worth it. And I was told that you and this brewery did a beer. I don't want to say the name because it'd give it away, the brewery, but I heard that was a thing.
I know. I think I know what brewery you're talking. Which brewery you're talking about. We can go there. I don't mind, because
it's a positive story in the end.
I think when we first opened, people saw us as a hype brewery, and a lot, like, how many stories that we heard. We all have the same distributors, like pretty much the same distributors, and every distributors were saying everything that they were hearing out there. So we knew everything, like everything that was going on. People what they were saying about us, we knew. So it was pretty hard for them to hide, because they were kind of loud. They were talking out loud. So it was easy to, but yeah, it was kind of, when we opened, before opening, we were so like, oh, we'll have so much fun. We'll meet some nice breweries that we grew up on, or like what was available to us in Quebec, like breweries that there were here, like pioneers, and we'll get friends with them. We'll probably like brew a beer together at some point. We'll make so many friends and everything will be fine. But nope, that was in the way. We didn't feel welcome. And it was like the opposite, totally. Like I felt like unwelcome. I felt like we were like bad people, just taking some space that they didn't want to give spaces to us. It was like a closed world, and no, you won't get in. We don't want you in that game. So we had to stay focused. And what I told the guys at the time was like, we control what we can control. They can't control us. So we will fucking go forward. We focus on what we do, and fuck what they think. Like, we don't give a fuck. Like the beers, they have to be good. And that's the only way to put, like to put some to get some respect. I mean, we didn't want some respect. We just, I mean, yeah, we wanted to be respected, but we were not looking for like respect and friendly, you know. But yeah, I was really disappointed. I thought it was sad. Because you know at that time putting lactose or like milk sugar in beers like milkshake IPAs and stuff, it was kind of a thing back in the days, and
We're familiar.
we don't put any lactose in beers anymore. Maybe sometimes in like exteri, you know, that series is like dessert kind of beers. We do them like we do Samnia exteriors like a few, like maybe like 2 or 3 times a year. It's not a beer that is it's something special. It's just like fucking sweet and so many adjuncts that, you know, like you just get diabetes from drinking it. But in IPAs, we had I think it was Get Wavy, and that breed that we won't name. So Dunham had Get Wavy, and they were like, "Oh, there's lactose in it," blah 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 blah, and it went crazy. But yeah, at the end, they're friends. We're friends with them. We're brewing another beer in the next couple of days with them.
Love that.
Became friends with them. I love them. They're just, you know, they're older than us.
Old school.
They were there. They know how to do it. They're, you know, they know the game. They know the drill. And maybe they saw us like a little brewery that didn't know what we were doing, and maybe like they changed their mind when they had some lagers or like well balanced barrel aged saison and stuff like that. So yeah, we became friends after a few talks and meeting them and stuff. So
good.
Yeah.
Is it true you did a beer with them called Bury the Hatchet?
Yeah, at Messorem.
Oh, I like that.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's called, but the name is in French. It's called no, it's just Ash de Gare. So it's like
HACH.
Ash
de Gare.
Like X, but in French. So is it?
Oh, Ash de Gare. Like Gare's war. Is that like a war axe or something?
Ash de Gare. So it's like axe of war, but it means bury the hatchet pretty much. And you see
axe,
on that label, it's the label. What we do, me and I think I'll have a sip of beer.
That's the label.
Yes, exactly. We always do half and half. Like I do half of the label, and well, dude, I have like a blanc mémoire. So crazy. I don't even remember his name, but like he's a friend of mine. It's crazy. Hold on. It's just getting crazy.
A few beers in, mate. Don't worry. And what did he do?
Dude, it's a Simon Bossé.
Okay.
It's the art director for Dunham. He's a friend of mine, and I just totally forgot his name for a second.
It's okay.
So me and Simon, we work together on labels. So he will draw something, he will send it to me. So I have to complete the label. And I don't know, like what, you know, like he doesn't tell me, hey, I'm doing this, doing that. And it's just super weird to do. It's like, you know, like when you draw, like you fold a piece of paper and you draw something and you just give it to your friend and he has to draw something, but you don't see on the other side.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same kind of thing that we do, me and Simon Bossé from Dunham. So that's what we did for the Ash de Gare. I did the right part, the left part. He did the right one, and you see the arm, the severed arm with the petit jus de mort, the hand holding the petit jus de mort with the blood.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it, but it was just like, yeah, we're doing. It was kind of laughing at us, like I was laughing at Messorem on that label, like, hey, you old people, you don't like that we put, yeah, exactly. We don't see the
I'll see other side. Okay.
in the hand, but
I'll see if people got the picture of it.
But yeah, like maybe I can show you.
You might even have a better. I'm just
Mm.
looking on Untapped to see who posted. Oh, I see where it is. It's like very small in the bottom there, in the bottom corner.
Yes, I have it right here. I'll show you.
Yours are probably better than mine. Yeah, there you go. Nice. See, that's dope.
So you have the hand that has been, the arm cut off, and the petit jus de mort à côté, that is our which is our smoothie sour series. So it was kind of funny to draw because they're older. They're not really into putting into putting a lot of fruits in beers like that. So I wanted to make fun of us, doing this. And while drawing this, it means like, we know that it's weird to put that much fruit in a beer. We know that you think that it's kind of off and not really into the standards of beer, but we'll do it anyway. And we're just like, yeah, we're like young and we want to do that. It's just like a weird way to say that we understand what you guys think about that, but we'll do it anyway, but it's autodérision. I don't know how to say that in English. Is it the same? Autodérision.
I'm not
Around
I'm not familiar with the expression.
When you can laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know the word for that.
Yeah, it's self-deprecating. It is kind of what it is. That's the closest I could.
But yeah, much love to Dunham, and they're awesome. They're amazing at what they do, and for me, like I was talking about traditional beers and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think they're like at the top of the Quebec game. They're
a phenomenal brewery.
Yeah, exactly. one of the legends in the province for sure.
And Dunham was the brewery that we were kind of thrilled to get friends with, But when that kind of bullshit story came out, we were super sad inside of us. Like, it was hard to believe that kind of idols, kind of role models are, we're getting like into a fight with them. It was really, it was just bad. It wasn't that. But yeah, I'm glad it's behind us now.
It's beautiful. I love it. So, how do you guys feel about a piss? And then we'll go to the next beer.
Oh, dude.
Yep. I thought that would be interesting. All right. We'll be back in a sec, y'all. And it's not a Messorem podcast if we don't get into some fucking haze. Mm-hmm. It's time. Boom. Let's go. So this bad boy, Filion, tell us about this one, bro.
Well, there's a rainbow, a sun, half a skull, and then a scythe.
I love it.
Weird has design, but kind of enjoying the colorways.
Yeah, it looks clean.
Colorway.
And this is super fresh. This was canned 9 days ago.
Oof. I love it. And it's a 6.6% single IPA, Destin Satan, with Nelson, Rawaka, and Citra, which is a phenomenal blend.
Thank you, Craig.
Absolutely.
Oof. The nose is disgusting. Honestly, we're going to get into it. It's just spectacular.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Thank you. Upper glassware.
Yeah, that's right.
Hashtag proper glassware.
You got the mess. I missed it. You got the Meso glass.
Yeah, man. Look.
Show me that shit. Oh, that's that
I
god
love,
tier shit.
I love the fact that on that glass you get the beer out of the from the
Oh yeah, from the eyes. Yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's so sick. And you
Yeah.
got the head perfectly right above the logo too.
Yep.
All right, beautiful.
It's
So
great glassware.
yeah, it's great glassware. The branding we'll talk about in a second, actually, because the branding and the merch is second to none. It's just spectacular. Oh, this nose, the Nelson is really coming through in the nose, like the white.
Like the Rawaka too. Like that's it. Like that's another one that is just bold AF every time.
Yeah, it's
For real, I hate saying that our beers are good. Like a certain beer is good, or like our beers are good, or products are good. I'm not that kind of person, so I never say anything like that. But that beer is amazing right now, and it's just like
oof. Oh, I had this last year. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought I remembered getting this one on one of the trips I did last year. That was probably one of the ones that I sent you from from one of the times I was there.
And 6.66%. Love that. Very
That seems appropriate.
Keeping with the theme. Gentlemen, I need to
Waka. You know, it's you can't go wrong.
get that in you, boys. No, you cannot.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Mm. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is spectacular. I mean, like the white grape, the mango, kind of like a bit pithy citrus.
Yep.
Almost like some
Big
guava.
grapes. I don't know why.
Yeah, the white grape. Well, Nelson. The white
Yeah.
grapes from the Nelson and gooseberry type vibes. Like, yeah, definitely like some. I feel like there's like guava or something. Maybe it's not guava, but something like it's like.
There's something giving it giving a bit of an acidic tingle.
Yeah. Oh, this is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
The haze that you guys are doing, bro, it's just it's so spectacular. I feel like over time, like we're just talking off air about how everything started. When you guys started, there was a lot of hot burn, right? Which some people fucking loved and some people didn't like. And now you guys didn't like it, so you moved your way out of it. But that's what happens when you got a new brewery and you're figuring out a system, you're dialing things in, right? It's a part of the process. And I feel like just over the years, like you guys have like it's been fascinating to watch, bro, because it's been like incrementally better all the time. Yeah. Well,
Roller coaster, dude.
roller coaster. Okay, so maybe I hadn't tried enough to get. I mean, there probably was some points where maybe I feel like every brewery goes through that, where you're like, oh, you have a flat period, and maybe there's this beer didn't come out quite right, or maybe there was like I've heard from a couple of breweries actually who have said they just had a period and they just something just went wrong, and like there's a few months and they couldn't figure it out, and then they're like, all right, now we're good, and they get back up. But you guys, at least in the last, I don't know, Nate, what would you say? Because I feel like every time you've been to Montreal, we make sure Nate goes past Meso and we just split a bunch of stuff. I reckon in the last 18 months, it's just been like fucking A1 crate, like so good, like so fucking good, man. Like, and that's why people are reaching out to me from the States to get it. And people are seeing you guys at festivals and they're coming to visit, specifically coming to Montreal. Are you guys I know once again it's a brewing question, so not so much about that, but as a team, are you guys really talking about incrementally like getting, improving things? Like
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But the team, the production team right now is so strong. Like they're like they're just the best. It's the best team that we had since we opened. They're just good people. They're all friends together. They work together. Shout out Mathieu, Jules, Anthony, Xavier. All the boys are doing such a good job. And this is the first time that we feel that we're strong. We're just, we have the best team and we're so proud of them. So, having a team that is dedicated to what they do gets you to consistency. How do you say that?
Consistency.
Yep,
Yeah,
right.
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you you put the people that
Hey, there it is.
yeah, sorry, I'm French. So yeah, having a team that is dedicated and they know what they do. It's first of all, it's so much fun working with them. They have a good attitude. They're always like nice, and it's nice to have them around, to be around, surrounded to having them around in our team. They just gives us the power to get further and evolve more, and they're just they're amazing, and they're a big part of the last few months. We've been really doing great, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. I love, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like I just feel like even like last year I visited in August, like I mentioned, and just seeing the expansion of the brewery and how like the kitchen, last time I was there, the kitchen didn't exist. So now they got a full kitchen system, and you order up front, you get the buzzer, and there's like a million fucking picnic tables on the patio, and you're playing like Nas and stuff. And for me, I don't go to breweries and hear hip hop a lot. So for me, that's something that like I'm out there, I'm vibing, and I'm like, this is incredible. This is exactly the experience that I want to be able to, hear some hip, because very rarely you hear hip hop at breweries. So stuff like that, like the whole environment felt like it had stepped up a level, and the merch was crazy, and the branding's crazy. It's just like, it's very cool to see the growth, I guess, in the company. At least when did I leave? July 2022, and I must have gone a few times before I left in those last few months. And I definitely had, I guess that would have been a year or so, changed significantly. So it's cool. It feels like, I guess from a consumer side, like I feel like you could step in and then you're like, oh wow, this is going great. These guys are doing well.
Yeah.
And they're investing that money into the customer experience, from the quality of the product to the actual taproom experience. And there was so much space. I think I was there on a Friday, so it was a vibe. It was rammed. It was just crazy, man. It was just such a cool thing that it was still pretty different. It's such a unique experience in Montreal, and like Nate was saying earlier, kind of in Canada, as far as we've seen, like as a whole, like it's such a unique thing that you guys have created. Was that intentional then, or was it just like, this is what we want to do, and it just came out this way?
You can't expect. I would use the word success without saying that we have, like just the fact that people are going to your place. You can't expect that. So we weren't expecting people to come that far, because you guys, you guys got been to Messorem before. You know where it is in Montreal. It's kind of, it's not too far from downtown, but it's not far. But if you live in like Rosemont, Villeray, or Plateau, or Hochelaga, it can be kind of far, but it is not far from downtown. But like just expecting people, it was a red flag winter time, knowing that it's cold in Montreal winter time. You guys know
A
that.
little.
Oh, yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
Just a little. And the closest subway or like metro station is 20 minutes. It's a 20 minutes walk. So we were kind of scared, like, hey, winter time, will people come over and drink beer? It's, do you really want to walk 20 minutes to just, and like in the snow and coldness to get a beer? Do you have to go that far to drink a beer? So that was a big
Concern.
Big concern, yeah, about that. But I mean, you can't expect that. And the only thing, like I said earlier, like if you do what you have to do, if you can, you control what you can control. So we try to do the best beer as possible. So I mean, if we think that we're brewing the best beer to us, for us, like in our I don't know how to say that, but if you do it the right way, the way that you're able to, I mean, maybe people will show up. It's you can't expect that, but if you're working your ass off, maybe the beer will be good. So if the beer is good, maybe people will show up. So that's the only thing that we control. We don't control the customers coming to Messorem. So we're focusing on what we can do. And so, yeah, we're expecting people to come from the hard work that we, because we're working our asses off, And so, yes, we expect people to come, but you can't beg them to come over, They have to by themselves. And that's the fact that they're coming by themselves. It's the best scenario for us. It's crazy to see some people, and just me parking my car and getting into the brewery and seeing like 200 people on the patio. It's just like oh my fucking god, like we did it, like mom, I made it. It's so weird. It's so weird to see. And every time I'm like kind of pinching myself, I'm just like, it was a dream. But like I said, like you can't expect that. And maybe if the beer wasn't, I don't want to say good, but like if the beer was not as good as it is for customers, maybe the days will be darker. It will be probably like hard to go to Messorem and see the patio, empty patio and empty tap room. And so the fact that people are coming, we just got to focus, still keep on focusing on what, I don't know how to say focusing.
Focus.
Focusing.
Focusing.
Because it sounds like fuck.
It does sound like fuck.
Yeah.
Like foxing.
Focusing.
Yeah.
I like it.
We got to keep working hard for our customers so they keep on coming to Messorem. We can't fucking sit on our asses and think that they will always come. Like still like in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, we don't know what the future is. Maybe people will stop drinking beer. I don't know. I'm saying stupid stuff right now, but I mean, yeah, we gotta keep on working hard so people keep on coming to Messorem.
I like that. That's a good attitude to have.
You don't sit on success. You just gotta evolve. You gotta go like always further and further. Dude, the beer game is changing. It's evolving. What is the next big thing? We don't know. Do you? Like, we gotta know. So we're on tour. We're having stuff from other breweries. We're talking to breweries. We're there. We're in that business. So our eyes are wide open. We know what's going on. We want to keep on pushing the game. We're not here to sit on our success. What is success? What is success? The success meaning is different for everybody. It's what is success for you? What is success for me? I don't know what success is for me. I'm just doing fucking labels for every new beers that we put out. And yeah, I do more than that, but it's pretty much it. Like and we think that that's the way to do it.
I like that. I like that attitude.
Yeah,
I think it's really important.
Yeah, it's very insightful because it's to kind of to have watched how the beer scene has evolved over the past decade. I mean, like I've been in it for longer than that, but like the last decade, like kind of when I've really been paying close attention to it. It's one of those things of back in like the mid 2010s, you know, there might have been a kind of thing of it, like if you brew it, they will come sort of thing. Like those days are gone. Those days, like those days are long, long gone. Like there's too many people in the scene right now to like for just like the beer to like to stand on its own enough. Like yeah, they like too many people in the game, and like too many and too many really talented people in the like in the game too. So like there has to be more to it than that. And I think that I think at Messorem, like you guys have more to like you have more to draw people in. Like we were talking, like we've been talking at length about the taproom experience, and like that alone is huge. And and also the merch, which is another thing, is which is wild, which not a lot of other breweries do to the same degree that you guys do. The branding is a big thing. The food program on site, just kind of the thing, like, you know, when you're talking about the winter season where people might need to be braving a 20-minute walk in a cold Montreal winter to get to the nearest subway station. Something needs to be bringing them there, and it's got to be more than just the beer, as as you were saying. So there's whatever combination of it that it is, that there's something that you guys are doing right.
I think when people get to Messorem, they feel like they're out of town. Do you get that vibe when you go to Messorem? You know,
it doesn't. It feels different.
Yeah,
you don't feel like you're in Montreal anymore. You know, when you get there, you feel like you're out of town. You're like kind of, you know, far away. It feels like a post-apocalyptic world. You know, it's so different from what you see in Montreal, but still,
it is.
You're there. But yeah, it feels like a little getaway. And I think people like to sometimes get away from their lives, and they want to keep it like behind. And then, you know, they just get away, and they get to Messorem. And it's the fact that we're by the canal, you know, people are running there, people are biking. It's like an easy pit stop for people that are using the canal for any sports that that you can do on the canal. But I think it's just like like I said, it's a pit stop, and we get a lot of bicycles and or runners. And
well, yeah. And speaking of things that are bringing people into your brewery, and like you mentioned biking, and so like there's a big cyclist community at your brewery that and you've even got a cyclist club, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, I've been friend with this guy called Fred Tremblay. He used to play in a band called A Death for Every Sin and Final Word hardcore, Montreal hardcore. Shouts. So yeah, Fred was. I knew Fred from the hardcore scene back in the days, and Fred used to be a fat, angry, hardcore kid. Super angry about life and about stuff. And one day decided to do bike and get in shape and work on himself and stuff. And yeah, now he's fucking like I wouldn't say like tiny, but he's a physical guy now. He's in shape. He's
shredded.
Yeah, dude, he's killing it. And just before opening Messorem, he was like, "Yo, we have to do a bike club, like a Messorem bike club. I'm the captain. I'm dealing with it and stuff and blah, blah. And now he's working with us. So he's working on the photos. He's on our payroll all year long, just working on the bike club. It's a lot of work. It maybe from the outside world you can't see what the work is, like how big it is, but you know, like working on like 2 or 3 events a week, summertime, just crazy, getting the sponsors, dealing with everything. Like it's so much work, but he's killing it. You know, he's doing really well. And that thing kind of built that idea in people's mind that Messorem is a bike stop. So everybody that is going to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, you know, on the Parc Jean Drapeau, you know, it's where the Formula One race is. Maybe people that they're not from Montreal, they don't know, but when there's no Formula One, people are running or riding their bicycle on the course. You say that on course?
It's like the track.
On the track.
Race
And
track.
there's a bridge from that track. There's a little bridge near the casino, and it gets you to the canal. So it's like a normal kind of ride for people when they go there and they want to do a little lap. You know, it's really close from Messorem, and the fact that we have a bike team, we're you know, like we're trying to. We're involved in the bike game. It's like it's just like a normal kind of pit stop for people, and it's kind of crazy for real. Sometimes on Thursday nights you can see like 250 bike right there, and they're just like coming like at the same time after a ride, and it's like
fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of I would say that when it's
busy.
No, I mean it's too much.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's really intense to see 250 like bike riders like coming, and it's and not intense, but like
intimidating.
Impressive. Sorry, I was looking.
Oh, impressive. Yeah, okay.
It's really impressive. To see,
yeah.
So many bikes, and just like what the fuck is going on?
Where they come from?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're doing great. Fred is doing great with our team.
Yeah, and a bunch of them wearing like seafoam green Messorem like bike suits and everything.
I'm gonna show some of that right now. I'm actually gonna bring up.
There it is.
This is the Messorem website with the gear.
It's not up to date.
It's not up to date.
Yeah, we have new merch coming up.
New merch? Well, you know what? This episode will drop in a couple weeks, so by the time people see this, it'll be up to date. But this is the bike stuff down the bottom. I was just gonna do it. So you got a whole bunch of stuff here with the like.
Yeah, this is the old collection. Yeah, but the brand new collection is coming in the next few days. So yeah, hopefully we'll have new jerseys when this video will be up. But
very cool, man. Like it looks like it's like I don't know anything about biking, but this looks like just really good quality shit.
It's from Castelli, so it's one of the best company in the world.
Gotcha. So it's
Castelli is probably like the best
like bike brand thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you know, you know.
If you know, yeah, I don't know.
I also don't. I'm just assuming.
But even just the regular merch, like these, I haven't seen these like the toques with the Meso on there and stuff. These sick T-shirts and shit. Like these ones are fire here. Like this one, like it's cool.
Like and like even just aside from apparel, like more glassware options than I think I've seen from any brewery. And I'm a big
not enough. It's never enough.
And I'm a big glassware guy. Like I
you're a psycho.
Yeah. I am.
I respect it, mate.
Can you tell me what you like What is your favorite?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What is your dream glassware?
Oh, dream glassware.
Oh my god! See, like it's
What would you
it's
like
a
to
thing
have?
of I really need to restrain myself, because I'll buy more glassware than I have room for. Like I only have one Messorem glassware right now, and it's it's the one that I'm drinking out of right now. Like this is, well, first of all, this is one thing that I love is that and being into amateur photography, it's a thing of with this one I've got two photo options. I've got the the Messorem stripe here at the back, or I've got the Grim Reaper logo on this side.
You know what, we do that with pretty much all of our glasses, because we like to have two options, even us when we take photos.
Love that.
Oh, I love that.
It's
Yeah.
perfect.
But I also really love the tumbler that you had before, the ones that had the Messorem and just kind of with the stencil.
The one that you're drinking from right now. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I love those those kind of tumbler glasses. I'm really into those right now. But
If you
what
will
I'm
have,
into,
you have to choose one glass for the rest of your life, what would you have?
okay, so I can tell you that I can tell you that right now. So and this is something that a friend of the show, Evan from the Wheeled Brew in Barrie, Ontario. He commissioned a local glass blower to make some really unique glassware, including this one here, which is the wavy glass. And I love this for hazies because it looks absolutely gorgeous with with the dimpled sides and whatnot. And he's got a couple of different designs. So if you were to tell me that I need to throw out every single glass that I have except for one, this is the one I would keep.
That's a great call. On the same note, actually, I recently got in touch with this place in Merrickville, Ontario, which is about 2-3 hours, and they're called Gather Glassware. It's like a glass blowing place, and they're setting up a small brewery, but they're currently a beer bar. So they sent me a bunch of glasses, and they did this mug, which I just drank the Mexican lager out. And this handle is so fucking big. I love it. And this is deceivingly large. So what I like, and this glass is also from them as well. So when I pour this, one of my things that I get a little frustrated from is, say, like the Spiegel, glass here, right? I got to pour it slow because it just fits a full can, right? Just fits. With this one, it's a pretty similar shape, but it's bigger. So I can pour it pretty aggressive and it'll hold a big ass head, and it'll pour, and I can pour the whole beer and it'll fit the whole beer and then some. And so does this. So all of that, they sent 4 different glasses, and I really love this shape, and I really love the mugs for the Crispies. So like a Meso mug, like if you could do like some sort of maybe there's like a glass blowing place in Montreal that you could do a collab with and make a glass that just like all of your beers, your merch, like you're the design guy. I want to know what you like on there. A custom glass for Messorem that I've never seen this before. Obviously, it's a fucking mug with a handle. Obviously, that's not genius, nice. But it's quite. Yeah, they did a really good job, and they post videos on their Instagram of how they make it, which is really it's very interesting to watch. And I just like that they've got a little stamp, like they do a branding at the bottom and stuff. So like you could collab with like a local glassware place or something and make a custom glass or a series of custom glasses that then get printed on the Messorem logo, or you do like a branding, because I saw them do it and it's just like a hot stick. Or no, the glass is melting, the stick's not hot, the glass is hot, and you just stamp it in the bottom. So you could do something like that, maybe, that could be unique, because you guys are drilling down on the Crispies. Yeah. That could be something that's pretty cool. That could, it's just something that I've been enjoying over the last month or two. That and it's very similar to what Nate showed. So like Hayes House in Barrie do a great job. Barrie, Ontario, they do a great job of doing all of that stuff. And then these guys in Merrickville do a great job. So it's like it's that's what sets them apart, I think, is the customization.
Special, something made for Yeah.
For that place. So that place makes it. And the interesting thing is, like, well, these guys are about to be a brewery. Hayes House are actually a craft beer bar called the Wheeled Brew, as Nate probably said, which they do. They just have a really great fridge and a great tap. They actually, you can drink on premise as well. So like they don't really have that as much in Quebec, but you can, it's like a beer store and bar in one. And super cool. And I just feel like that is like a interesting thing, because you know what? You could buy, all the glass places. They have, here's all the glasses we make, and you can put your logo on it. And I think that's sick, because they have so many different things, but this makes it extra unique, because it's literally, they're probably more expensive. I don't know what they cost, but like, I think the one that Nate had
comes to custom stuff is always expensive.
it's more.
Oh yeah.
I know if customers we did 50 mugs. They were kind of seafoam mugs. I don't know if you guys remember. We did 50. We sold them for like $65 or something, and people were like, "What the fuck? Way too expensive."
No, honestly, that sounds about right.
But
That sounds right.
The profit on those glasses.
But you're probably making nothing. You probably made nothing on that.
It was like $3.75 or like $4 or something. It was, it's just like when it's handmade, there's some people working and they don't have much money, like it's not like,
it's not they're doing thousands a day. They're doing 100 just for you.
Yeah. And it was really expensive to do. So like,
there might be a way to do it, because I think the one that Nate had is $38 retail, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know what these.
That's okay. That's fair when you get like special glass, like made for you,
made specifically. So I wonder if there might be somebody who could do it at a reasonable price around that. Yes. Ooh.
P.I.
Oh, piss! I gotta go too.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
We're gonna take a pause, yeah. Let's. I gotta go. Pause. All right, we back. We're just saying the seal. I think we all broke the seal. But anyway, Glassware, your merch game, bro, is just it's spectacular. I feel like you always have something. You definitely cater to everyone, like we were just showing on the site there. Like you've got stuff for kids, you got stuff for all genders, you got the cycling stuff, you got glassware, you got hats and beanies, and it's just always like it's like going through a store. Like you've got a full mini retail clothing store in the corner of the bar there.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. I guess merch must be a pretty big business for you guys. No.
Yes. At a certain point, maybe it is. I don't know like the I don't know the numbers, but I know by ordering, if I order, I don't know, like 300 hoodies and they sell in 3 months, I'm like, fuck, I have to do something else. I have to do another one. So I know that I work on that shit pretty often. So from that perspective, I know that the merch is selling well, but for numbers and money talk, I don't know.
I don't know what it's at. And that's okay. I was just curious in general if it's like a big, if it's just in generally speaking, a large, something that you guys really take seriously in the business.
But would you imagine if you like, can you imagine if you always do the same t-shirt, the same crew neck, the same long sleeves, the same hoodie all the time? At some point, people have it. There's no reason for someone to buy the same t-shirt again and again. So we're always trying to try new stuff and bring people somewhere else than just the name of the brewery, and then says like the t-shirt will say brewery or beer or did you ever see Messorem with brewery or like Montreal or no.
No, never.
Skulls and Messorem and Reapers.
I don't know if it's a hint or for other breweries, but you got to think what the customers what they want to wear. Maybe they don't want to have brewery on their t-shirt. Maybe they don't want to see beer, so people, at their job, at work, or at family and stuff, they don't want to, maybe they don't want to feel judged, so the fact that there's no brewery or beer and stuff, it's not related to something special. It's just like we feel like we're a brand, and it's a brand for the people that, if but if you don't know, if you like it, maybe you will ask what it is, and then, oh yeah, it's a brewery from Montreal, maybe like check them out and stuff. So we don't like to put a beer or like a brewery or Montreal Brewery Co. It's just too much. So we're just trying to sell as a band. Like when you get a T-shirt from Nas, does it say rap music from fucking Queensbridge? It doesn't say that.
It does not.
It's just a Nas T-shirt. It doesn't say Queensbridge at all.
You're right.
So yeah,
I like that.
so this is a new shit.
I like this one you got there now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that too. Can you explain the design?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's I came up with that Asian word, Chinese. I said Asian. So used to say Asian convenience store, because people say, oh, Chinese convenience stores, but how do you know they're Chinese? Maybe they're not Chinese, so I say Asian. Yeah. But yeah, this is Chinese. It means Messorem, the Grim Reaper. It came out like this. Actually, the design in the back, I showed it earlier. It just reminded me kind of. Do you guys see it?
Yep. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
It reminded me of a neon sign, and the way that the Reaper is looking at looking at the sign and the beer. It kind of reminded me of some Chinese or Japanese signs that you can see in Tokyo or like big cities, and it just came instinctively. To do something with in Chinese, and since like China is one of the biggest countries in the world. I'm not talking about politics here or anything. It's just like so many people are talking Chinese on this planet. It's just like if some Chinese in Chinatown in Montreal or anywhere in the world can read this, I mean, it's
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's just, and then you got the little Messorem logo here. It's just, and you see, there's so many brands, like fashion brand, like Undercover, not brands that I really enjoy, but Undercover, or like, I don't know, Off-White, or some other brands that they will use Japanese or Chinese images or characters. Exactly. It's not about that. It's just like the design in the back reminds me of like a restaurant or like a old bar with neon signs in Tokyo and stuff. So I know Tokyo is in Japan. It's not Japanese. It's just like an Asian
inspired type
of. But yeah, like I think we don't have to overthink. Sometimes it's just like it is what it is. It's Chinese. And it looks nice and
it's fire.
Yeah, we got a few t-shirts, through different colorways and stuff, and I just think it looks cool, and yeah,
I like it. Is that available now, or is that?
It will. I mean,
it will be.
This is Thursday, May 16th. So
Correct.
on this day it is not, but next week, so the third week of May.
So by the time this drops, it'll be available.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if people buy merch on the website and they're not in, can you ship anywhere for the merch? Can you ship to Ontario, to around Canada, to the States and everything?
We ship all over the world, baby.
Let's fucking go.
Awesome.
That's what I thought. I was hoping so, because I know obviously here in Ontario you can ship beer in Ontario, and I know in Quebec you cannot, but I wasn't sure what the deal with
And surprisingly, the last 6 months, we mostly ship outside of Canada.
Interesting.
Like 95% of our orders are from out of Canada.
Wow,
It's crazy. Yeah.
Huh.
And like if you go back to like a year or 2 years ago, it was still even like in St. Henry, like, you know, like right next to Messorem. 5 minutes, like 10 minutes by walk, people will get their stuff shipped. I was like, really? Do I have to use that Uline envelope and like, can I just go to his mailbox and just
swing by his place?
Like, come get a beer.
Like, why are you like spend that
cheap on an Uber,
or just spend that shipping money and get yourself a beer while you're at it.
Yeah, a little
exactly. Yeah, it's so weird, but yeah. So maybe like they all got that T-shirt at some point. So now it's outside of Canada.
I love that, dude. That's so cool.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
it's time.
I was just about to say, you read my mind. You read my mind. Time for another beer.
Double time, guys.
Yes,
I love this series so much.
And I've got to say, because I was just at Messorem a couple of weeks ago, like where I stocked up on some stuff for Craig and I, and this was one of the ones that I bought. So I've had 2 cans of this already, and I fucking love this beer.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm really excited that you threw this one in, because I'm glad to have some more of it.
Nice.
Oh, so this is a this is a beauty, man. So this is 8%. Double IPA with Nelson Cryo, Citra 701, Citra and Nelson.
Yeah, this is a juice bomb.
Like also an aroma bomb too. Like, did you take a whiff of that right off of the crack there, Craig?
Oh yeah, that hit me right in the nostrils.
Yeah,
it's
like I'm smelling at the can, and it's just like it's crazy.
Ooh, oh yeah, like it's concentrated there.
Nate's been gassing this one up for me for like a few days now, and I haven't tried it as yet. So I've got a couple cans in the fridge, but I'm extra excited for. Oh, look at that! So gorgeous, wicked head as normal. Man, the heads on these beers are just bonkers.
Yeah.
Look at that, right in that glass there.
Never lose.
Never lose.
Trip.
So. This is the Temporalis 0017. So this is a series of double IPA. It's all double IPAs, right?
No, Temporalis is just a series that we still try new stuff. We try to evolve to every level of the beer production.
Gotcha.
It could be the timing of dry hop. It could be the amount of hops that we put in the dry hop. It could be the grain bill. It could be the yeast. It could be anything. We're just trying stuff that we hear, talking to people, to other breweries and stuff. We try, and sometimes you can get home runs, you know, and. Yeah. This is a fascinating series of beer, because you never know what you're gonna get, but the fact that we know what we do, you know, you'll get something good.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
but you could get something maybe fucking good out of Temporalis because we're trying so many so many things, different things that
Yeah.
at some point, we'll hit the fucking home run with the temporalis. And this one with Yakima Chief is a pretty good product. Yeah.
Cheers.
Get it in you, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Mm.
I can't stop smelling that.
Mhm.
Crazy.
This is disgusting. This is so fucking good.
Oh man.
Once again, double IPA, 8% with Nelson Sauvin Cryo, Citra 701, Citra, and Nelson. I don't know if you know, Filion, but what's the Citra 701? Do you know what that is? It's just like a different type.
It's a trial. It's I know they just I think it's the 702 is the new Dynaboost thing. Did you guys hear about the new Dynaboost?
I've heard that term before.
That's not the one that. Oh no, 4 with FWD was the one that.
Mosaic 701 is the FWD one.
So okay, so
Dynaboost is a brand new thing. It was trial 702, I think, and it's a liquid. It's concentrated liquid. And so far, I think they have Simcoe, Nelson. Okay, I don't remember, but yeah, it's a new thing from Yakima Chief. Hope Luke will be next to me, telling you guys more about Dynaboost. But yeah, we just did 3 beers. We're doing 3 beers right now with Dynaboost that they will come out soon. I think there's like Citra, Simcoe, and Motueka, I think. I can tell you in a minute.
Okay, no worries.
But yeah, is the new shit from Yakima Chief.
It's a new joint. Okay, it's fucking spectacular. I mean, shouts to Luke as well. Obviously, this is so great, man. Like, it's so big and bold. It's sticky. It's pithy, citrusy, mango, like pineapple. Like
and like super like bold and punchy. Like there's nothing subtle about this.
No, this is in your face, but it's like it's still got the white wine or the grapes as well in there from the Nelson.
And biting into like a super juicy, super acidic caramelized grapefruit kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have the answer for Dynaboost. Dynaboost is Citra, Mosaic, and Simcoe.
Okay.
They're doing a concentrated liquid. It's so powerful, and it's coming soon. But 701, I can't tell.
No, it doesn't even matter. You should
not even matter.
It just tastes good, but it smells better than I think it smells. I wouldn't say better, but as good as what it.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. Like it was a thing of as soon as I cracked it and just caught a whiff right out of the can there, like it just like you almost smell it with your whole body. It's like it's so intense.
I rarely smell my beers for real. I think I used to do that, but I just take a little sniff here and there, not too often. But this one,
oh yeah,
all because just that one, it's just crazy.
You can't not smell it. You can't not smell it. Like even if you were just taking like a cursory breath around it, like you would just like it would just get right up in there.
Yeah, so weird.
It's beautiful.
We're having a moment here.
It's cool on the pod because you get to kind of maybe over analyze the beer. Like if you're drinking it by yourself, I'll write my reviews, but I'm not like circle jerking over it. But on the pod, I feel like you go a little harder, and it's really cool to kind of like really soak this shit up. You're like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy, man.
And you kind of say what you're thinking as just kind of letting it come
Talking
out
it through.
Like unfiltered. Like you kind of you don't analyze it too much. It's just like it's just really like raw impression.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I feel like in maybe in a month and a half, it will be really sweet. I don't know if you get that. You guys get that feeling when you drink a beer and like, ooh, it's at their
The right spot, like a sweet
yeah,
spot.
the right spot, and it's sweet spot exactly. And then you know that it's going down and it will go on fast.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure about that one, but I feel like it's probably like it's been held for the last 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, this was canned May 5th. Hang on, sorry.
May 1st.
May 1st, sorry. Oh, see, this is the it always throws me off because it said 0105 with the dates. This is the one thing which is the Australian British style. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it always fucks me because I never know, like, because in the United States they always put the month before the days, so sometimes I don't know which one it is.
Which one's
and the thing is that like in Canada we do a weird mix of American style and European style on so many things. First of all, with whether we're using imperial or metric and
pounds, kilos,
grams, and dates are the same thing. Because you're right. The American thing is to say the month
Fahrenheit
first,
on the
and
oven.
we do that and we do that a lot in Canada as well. Even though
I hate it.
I'm always happy when there's a number here above 12 because I know what day it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
If it's not above 12, then
that's the giveaway.
So
because then it feels like a crapshoot. It feels like a crapshoot if you've got a number under 12.
You know it's a day. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Canada makes no sense to me because Australia is 100% metric, right? So I come here. I used to go to the gym and weigh myself in kilos. It's Celsius outside. Every time you measure, it's meters and centimeters. Like it's kilometers when you're driving. Boom, easy. No think about it. I come here. It's kilometers, cool, but then you weigh yourself. Now it's pounds. You go to the gym and it's pounds. I've forgotten everything I know about kilos. Yep. Then you weighing stuff and it's like in grams sometimes too, though.
Yes, like if you're weighing food, it's in grams.
Yes, and then if you go outside, the temperature's Celsius, but if you got the oven, it's fucking Fahrenheit. I've forgotten what Celsius is for the oven. I have no idea anymore. And then as soon as I cross the border, I got to hit the button on my car to change it to miles, and now there's miles now.
Yep. And if you're buying gas, it's in liters.
And buying the gas is in liters. Yeah, there's one button. I got a newish car, and it's a couple years old.
I'm so bad with gallons. Every time I tank, I fill up the van in the States. I'm like,
I have no idea. Gallons,
but then in some foods, liquids are in ounces. It's a whole fucking thing.
Oh, can I get a 16-ounce pour? Do you want a 20-ounce? Do you want 8 ounce? Do you want that? I'm like, I understand. Like I've been in Canada 13 and a half years, so I get it. But do you know how fucking long it took me to understand this shit? Because I came from 100% metric. Even England, to be fair, because everything. Pardon?
Do you use a centiliter?
All of that. Yep.
Yeah.
So you use, like, say if you buy a can of Coke, all the small cans. I don't drink soda, but like small cans are 375 mil, whereas here they're 330 or they're 355. Like they vary, or 391 for those little bottles, or 341, whatever it is for those like Péché Mortel bottles.
This is milliliters.
Milliliters. And then everything in Australia is like 2
liters. No.
Oh, like it'd be 33 CL. Yeah, it'll say it. But
in France, they use that.
I've seen that on a couple of European brands, like on a couple when I was collecting glassware from from breweries outside of Canada. Some of the European ones would show them in centiliters, which was a weird one. That's a weird one.
You go on Google and then you use a converter or something.
Yeah, I need to forget what the fuck multiple of 10 is centiliters. I don't fucking know.
You just add a 0 to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like it's so confusing. So then the dates things always fuck me up because to me, logically, days are smaller than months, are smaller than years. So
that is the that is the right logical way to think about it.
But the only pushback I have to that now, after being here so long, is that in Australia, I would say I am born on the 10th of April, Whereas here, I'm born on April 10th. I'm like, that's why it's month date. And I've started saying, like, yeah, it's July 9th today, not the 9th of July or whatever. Like it's
but that's another example of a way that we kind of use the Americanized way, the way of saying it.
Exactly. And it's like, now I look at the cans, I would hazard a guess that like something in the range of 90+% breweries would post the American style date, like month, day, year, as opposed to day, month, year. So the only reason we would know that these beers we're drinking right now, sorry, this one is the right one, is because we're like, well, it's not January. This was not brewed in January. So
May 1st.
We're like May 1st. So it's the 1st of May. So I like that you guys do that. I just wish that like it was
more standardized.
I think that would be helpful to. Well, all over the world is one thing, but in Canada, say alone, just we live in Canada, like let's make like pick. I worked construction when I first worked here, and I never when I first moved here with a friend. I didn't work that in Australia. All of the things were in inches. And I was like, what do you mean inches? And then they had those I think they're called Robertson head. Because in Australia, you've got Phillips head and flatheads. That's it. And then I come here and there's this square head fucking thing. So now I had to buy all of this stuff here to be able to screw shit in. Go to IKEA. I'm like, fucking Christ. It's so confusing. It's like Canada doesn't have an identity in the sense of like, what are you? Are you trying to be American, or are you trying to be British? Or you've got this like complete mix. There's basically no consistency across the board.
No,
and
there
I've
really isn't.
assimilated to that.
It's this super weird, it's one of those things of like, technically, like I suppose we use metric, but culturally there are so many things for which we use this weird blend of metric and imperial. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's well, either way, I know that was a long tangent off this. But shout out to Met though.
We evidently all have like some really intense feelings about this.
I don't think any of us have talked about this with anyone before, so we get it.
Oh my god!
Fahrenheit Celsius thing is the one that fucked me up the most. It's every time I go to States and it's like, what is the weather in Montreal right now? How warm is Montreal right now? I'm like,
22
15 Celsius, and they're like, what?
They just kind of stare at you.
I don't know. Like it's
that's harder.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I can only fuck with Fahrenheit for the oven temperature. Anything beyond that, I've got no fucking idea.
No clue,
absolutely
bro.
No fucking idea.
Yeah, it's 105 today. I'm like, sounds hot, I guess.
Yeah, because your oven tells you, so like 450 is, I could go on my oven right now and tell you, but yeah, it will tell you. But
do you know what I do? I use the Apple Watch
in fucking New York, and they're like, oh, how warm is Montreal right now? How cold is Montreal right now?
Do you know what I do? I'd be like, hey Siri.
Oh,
hey Siri. Oh, it's not working. Wow, of course it's not working on the pod. Come on, you bitch. Hey Siri.
Ooh. Do you have like the opposite?
What is 25 Celsius in Fahrenheit? There you go. 77 Fahrenheit.
There you go.
So like, I'll be okay. Check this out as well. I'll be driving in my car.
Do you have like the opposite of the applause, like people like booing or?
Let me see. No, I got one called night driving. I got feeding the ducks.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Yo, my name is Filion. Hey, we're drinking here some Pluralist. I don't know about you guys, but I feel so
little freestyling there for feeding the ducks.
In English, feeding the ducks. Is that the episode name? Feeding the ducks. We're out of control, boys. When
were we last talking about beer?
Oh, I think we're just talking about the date
Yeah,
code.
it's been a while.
Glorious Temporalis 17.
Holy shit. I'm like halfway through my can.
I know, it's fucking crazy. The only other thing I was gonna say on this was when I'm driving.
It's the one that I drank the slowlier,
Slowest.
slowest. Yeah, because
Well, I mean that's probably wise, but
yeah, it's well, I figured this is full beer. This is pretty chill because we had a couple crispies, so it's like
but
nice
I would have drank a lot of these. So fucking easy.
Oh, yeah.
to drink.
That Mexican lager is spectacular. It's
that went down easy for sure.
So are you a Miller High Life? Because we've had other people. Shouts to Jeff from town. He always says he loves drinking Miller High Life in his driveway.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
his
Miller
thing.
High Life evangelist there.
Are you a High Life guy, Filio?
I mean, everywhere we go in the States, everybody, like everyone from every breweries, they're on Miller High Life. It's we went to CBC last year in Nashville. We went to this little sketchy Smash Burgers restaurant. It's like a little, it's
Like
super
hole in
dark,
the wall.
old little restaurant, super hip, you would say, but with the guys from the Well. It's a beer bar in Greenville, South Carolina, North Carolina. The guys from Inner Voice and some people from Burial, and they were selling.
Fucking love Burial.
Yeah, they were selling, like the tinies, like the little.
The little bottles.
They're like 3 or 4 sips each.
Yeah.
Small bubblies. I don't know. I don't remember how they call them, but they're so small, and they were selling them for so cheap. We ordered like 60 of them for everyone, and people, it's so easy to drink. It's like drinking water. I think it's like a bandwagon beer. When you start drinking that shit, you kind of can't stop drinking that shit. It's
I feel
but yeah, like I don't pay for my beers, but yeah, I get some Miller High Life because it's like drinking water or apple juice. It's just super easy to drink, and yeah, I'm on the bandwagon of Miller High Life.
interesting. It seems to be a common brewer or brewery owner thing.
Yeah,
that people really. I tried it recently. I was somewhere and they had it for free. I forgot where it was. It was like
It's good. It's not bad. It tastes good.
It was fine. It wasn't my thing. I would rather drink.
It's not
like
the Pabst
this.
Blue Ribbon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's.
I fucking hate Paps. I can't drink Paps. I hate that.
Yeah,
shit.
I don't either. I drink 2 and then I'm fucking hungover the next.
Yeah.
one.
Oh my god. I've had. Ugh.
yeah, that'll wreck. Yeah,
They
Yeah,
really do.
It's not good beer.
no,
It
The
seems
highlight-
like it's actually a decent beer as far as like macro beers go. It's like up there with Labatt 50. Like Labatt 50 is one of the best macros. Heineken maybe.
yeah. Well, I would say like when I'm like gun to my head, if I'm like at a wedding or something and it's what's available, what I'll go for is like if it's on offer is either Labatt 50 or like Coors Banquet.
Coors
Yeah,
Banquet.
Coors Banquet. I would go with Coors Banquet, Miller Lite, or Miller High Life, but this is way better than Labatt 50 or
You think?
dude, 100%.
Wow, I have to have it side by side.
No. It's day and night for real.
Interesting. I
It's
trust
so
you.
easy to drink. It's the champagne of beer. Like
Okay, saying that with confidence.
I
All
like
right.
that.
yeah, like it's for me. It's I love Labatt 50s with olives and chips, the salt and vinegar. I love Labatt 50s. I grew up here. It's in Montreal. I know it used to be like a beer that I was getting for so was so cheap here, but this is way better than I would consider that beer. Like it's as easy drinkable as a Corona. It's
Huh.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
you can have like fucking
12 of them.
20 of them and will feel good and you walk right. Like,
You walk straight.
yep.
What would you say you drink? Okay, so you're saying you don't pay for beer, and of course you don't.
Yeah.
When you're drinking, are you drinking Messorem beer? Are you drinking Miller? Are you drinking stuff that people bring you? Like, what's your intake typically?
I work mostly from home, so I don't really drink anymore.
Good man.
At home, I would say I have like a beer or two at home a week.
Damn, responsible.
But I just feel like when I drink too often, it fucks my routine, fucks my schedule, and it's just hard for me. I hate hangovers, so I try to stay away from that, and I don't want to have hangovers. So for me today, being home and having 4 cans of Messorem with you guys, it's the most.
That's a lot for you.
Last 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Well, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
yeah, I'm mostly I always have Messorem in the fridge, but it's mostly for my friends and the people that are coming here. But I will drink wine. I
hear that a lot.
drink way more wine than beer here.
Okay. Okay.
I've heard that from fellow, like other brewery owners and stuff. They tend to, because I think my guess is, like, let me know. My guess is that you're around beer so much that it gets like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love, like we do a lot of grape hells at Messorem.
Mhm.
Beer with it's like a hybrid of wine and I've got a few here. I'll show you guys. Oh, I'm sorry for my chair. It makes
It's a noisy chair. It's okay.
But like we have those kind of beers that we like to do.
Sick. That's
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
Beers with grapes. This is a Vitis Riparia, and we have another version here.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're so
We
pretty.
love to do grape ales because Gabriel loves wine. He's a wine guy. I'm a wine guy too. So every time we go to a restaurant, we went to Hop Selection in Yakima 2 years ago. Me, Sebastian, and Gavin, Vince, and then we flew to LA because we had a collab with Electric.
Hell
And
yeah.
we went to this we were looking for the best restaurant with the best wine card on in town in LA, and so we ended up going on some blogs and stuff that was telling us where to go. So we found that place, and we knew that place was amazing. And when we got there, they were kind of closing. But we told them like, yo, we're for real. Like we're coming here and we are getting some bottles and stuff. And they decided to stay open for us and they didn't regret. I think we bought like 4 or 5 bottles of wine and so much food. And it was our treat. It was like a real treat for us. And yeah, like we were into wine, but it's, we're super busy and we don't really have much time to enjoy ourselves. So when we have the opportunity to, we like to get somewhere else. And, when you try stuff, you drink natural wine, you try different things, you try to bring what you had in your mouth, what you tasted, and it brings ideas and what we can do with beer. Like what can we do? What can we mix? What like that little things that we had on that with that bottle. Like, can we get that little extra? Like the frizzante at the bottom of the tongue. Like what can we get from that? Like we get ideas and. Like I said, you always got to evolve. You got to find more ideas and stuff. And I think if you only drink the same fucking beer all the time, you won't get more ideas. it's
Preach.
you got to be open-minded. You got to open. Nothing is crazy, like just like that Dunham story with the lactose thing that we talked about earlier. Adding so much fruits in Berliner Weiss, smoothie sours like we do, like brewski and stuff. It's not stupid. You just gotta find stuff that will be good in your mouth, and not about like, oh, this will sell. We don't give a shit if it sells or not. Like, you want something that people will enjoy. And what is the next thing? Like I asked you guys before earlier tonight, like, what would you guys do? Like, what is the next thing? Like, we don't know. But if you're just like staying at your brewery and drinking the same fucking beer every day and you don't move your ass, you will not be noticed when that shit is the next thing will come up. You gotta be out there. You gotta take notes. You gotta do some research. You gotta be out there. So yeah, pretty much it.
No, that's important, man. And it's really cool that you guys do that. And that was kind of something else. Forgive me if we didn't really talk about the collabs that you guys are doing yet, right?
No,
we talk about that. No, that's probably a good segue. Like, you guys are traveling a bunch, like you said. You got a bunch coming up this summer, but you do a lot of festivals. And one of the things I just thought was really cool was that you do collabs on both sides. You do, you bring people to
a lot of those.
Do it on your side and you do it on their side. I'd love to just maybe hear you speak about that in general. Like, how do these things come about? How important are they to you? Like, do you learn something from it, or is it just a marketing exercise? And if it is, that's completely okay. But
it's a good question. It's a really good question. I would say that if we do a collab with that brewery far from Montreal, and this is a comment that we had the most from all the breweries. People in Quebec are crazy. I'm telling you. Breweries are doing collabs with other breweries all over the world.
Yeah.
They never get customers. They never get messages from customers from where that brewery is from. I don't know if you get that.
I totally understand. So if you collaborated with a brewery in Baltimore, Messorem isn't receiving comments from people in Baltimore.
Exactly.
Right.
So if Messorem is doing a collab in San Diego, that brewery in San Diego receives hundreds of messages like, "Hey, can you ship?" Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, why are people sending messages all the time, texting us?" And they don't understand. And this is the weirdest thing when we do collabs in the States. People here in Quebec, they want to have that beer.
Gotcha.
So they're trying every possible way to get their hands on cans. And we know because the breweries are telling us like, "Yo," and they're sending screenshots of messages and received. And we see our customers like, "For real, you're doing that? Do you know, like, it's a fucking pain in the ass for that guy, like, working his ass off, like, what do you want to do? Like, don't do that." But it's like, apparently it's only in Montreal or Quebec because no one does that. But people here are sending messages to breweries that we're collaborating with. So it's kind of weird. But what was the question again?
It was just more just speaking in general about how all the collabs came about and like how you feel about it, what impact it would have.
Yeah, like what do you guys get from them, or what do they mean to you, really?
Yeah.
I mean, we're always talking. Every festivals we're going, at the hotel, in the pool room, everywhere. We're just, hey, how it's going at your and we'll say, like, let's talk about American Solero. They're, really good friends of us. So when I see Matt wherever in the States, I'm just like, hey, how it's going at the brewery? Like, tell me. And he's like, oh, Baba. Blah, 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 blah. And he's telling me stuff and we're talking. So we share ideas. And if they want to put a beer out in fucking Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we're like, and our customers, they want that beer. So it's, they get messages. So we know that our customers want that beer. So we wait a little bit and we find a way to just brew it in Montreal. So that's what we did with Track. And they're from Manchester.
Okay.
That beer sold out in a minute. Like it sold out so quickly. It was crazy. Like I know
you did the same beer both sides.
Yeah, but like 8 months later we brewed it here. But that beer was sold so like people were traveling from countries in Europe to go to Manchester to get that beer.
Jesus Christ.
It was crazy. And Track is right in front of Cloudwater in
Manchester.
In Manchester, they're like 10,
neighbors,
10 meters away, like just across the street.
Shit.
Right across the street.
Across the street, like in front. Like, boop. It's so crazy. There's like 3 breweries right next to each other in Manchester, and people were traveling from other countries just to get that beer, that collab. And it sold out in a fucking in half a day. Like it was just crazy. Okay. So people were reselling those cans and stuff, and we received so many messages. Also, us like, hey, will you have that beer and stuff? No, it's in fucking UK. Like it's in England. We won't have it. It's not that easy.
I don't understand how it works.
So we thought of doing our own version of that beer. So we had it for Easter, I think, as in the release of Easter. But it's always nice to try to bring stuff that people can't really get their hands on. It's just it's not marketing. I think it's like a pass of on the stick. I don't know how you say that. We say that in French, like a passe à palette.
Oh,
yeah,
like a rite of passage.
Right on the tape. Bang! It's like
rite of passage.
Yeah, it's like right on the tape. Did you guys say that in English? In Ottawa, Hamilton?
Rite of passage?
Rite of passage, yeah.
The tape. Like you put some tape on your
hockey stick?
Yeah. Right on
okay.
When the pass is like perfect.
Interesting.
The puck gets on the tape.
Oh,
okay. No, I don't think I know that expression.
Nate,
but I'm also not a hockey guy, so I
Nate, you're fucking Canadian. You're disappointing me.
I don't think it's a Quebec thing. I think it's right on the tape. I think it's a Canadian.
Right on the tape sounds right. Actually,
that must be a hockey expression that I just.
That makes sense, though, right? Yeah, it means it was like a perfect pass. You got it right there.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Gotcha.
So I just think it's a perfect. Oh.
You could get you. I need a sip, big sip.
It's a perfect pass, and like Untapped, they posted something about American Solero this week.
Okay.
Last week, and some people from here in Montreal or Quebec decided they commented on their post. And they're like, oh, yeah, we discovered them because of Messorem and stuff. And Untapped mentioned us as like, oh, American Solero, they did collabs with Autograph, this brewery, and Messorem at the end. I was like,
that's sick.
We're not part of that group. I have to show you guys.
Let's see if I can find the tweet. Was it a tweet? Because I know Untapped always does I know the tweets you're talking about. They do a bunch of like they feature different breweries, which I love.
After notable collabos with the legends, Angry Chair, Omnipollo, Weldworks, Oris, Evil Twin, Devel, Jester King, and Messorem. Like
That is a
God damn.
fucking spectacular company to keep, brother.
Yeah. No
Damn.
kidding.
for real, like I don't feel like we're part of that group.
No, well, clearly you are, man. Clearly you are.
Dude,
So
that's
cool.
pretty that's pretty crazy.
It's insane.
when
And
I
it's
when I
well
read that,
deserved.
I was just blown away. Like I feel like we shouldn't be there, but
Nah, man.
I mean it's crazy. Like I love the guys from Weldworks.
Yes, I met I had homeboy on the pod. What's the name of the brewer?
Fucking Skip.
Yeah, had him on the pod. He was awesome.
Skip. Oh really?
Yeah, like a couple years ago. They tried twice to send the beer, and I think they kept fucking up because they put beer on the manifest. And I'm like, don't put beer on the manifest. And they kept putting beer. So we didn't make it. But yeah, we had a great pod. Yeah, they were super cool.
Weldworks are amazing.
Yeah, Weldworks are great. No, man, I I understand what you're saying, but I know you're being humble, but like you deserve to be in that list.
Humble. Like I, you know, like at the beginning of this podcast, you were saying stuff about Messorem. You were like, "Oh, they did this, they did that." And like, dude, I felt like so weird. Like,
I'm sorry.
I hate having
Being
those
gassed up.
comments. Like, I feel uncomfortable. It's so weird.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, I told myself like, take it. You know, it's it's a podcast that we'll talk about. Yeah, I have to, but I don't feel comfortable. Yeah, I just
understand.
Well, man, we don't want to make you uncomfortable, and we apologize if we've made you uncomfortable. But like, truthfully, we love everything that you do, and we're not boosting at all when when we chose you as like Quebec Brewery of the Year. Like, we really truly feel that that you've earned it, and that that you've made a huge impact on the Quebec scene, and your beer and your brewery is 100% top notch, and fully deserving of that kind of praise. And we really appreciate everything that you've done in the scene.
And we're trying to give you your flowers on the pod, right? And I know it might feel weird to accept it, and because you're a humble dude, but like, it's our job to give people the props that they deserve when they've done something great. And as an ex-Montrealer, what you meant to the craft beer scene and what you currently mean, I don't think Nate and we're not overvaluing it here.
No, not at all. We're not boosting. It's for real.
I'm not Messorem. I'm Messorem with my friends, Sebastian, Vince, and Gab. And then there's my dad and my uncle in the back too. So it means the world to us that hearing those words, I just think about my partners, the fact that what they do and what we all do to get it's weird because it's Sebastian doing his thing, Gabriel doing his thing, Vincent doing his thing, me doing my thing. But like at the end, we're the four of us.
All of that is Messorem.
Exactly.
And that's what we're propping. It's not just you. If you feel uncomfortable, we're giving credit to the whole organization, to all you guys.
Because
we're making all four of you uncomfortable.
No, I hate I don't like when people say, "Hey, that label."
I'm just teasing.
What do you want me to say? Like, "Oh yes, it's really nice." Like, I won't say that. I'm really a bit like in my mind,
I get it. I get it.
I don't want to I don't want to know what people if they like it or not. I don't give a shit if they don't like it, and
I get it, but
I do what I have to do, and it's pretty much it. But at the end of the day, it's what you're drinking that is the most important. If beer is shit, like
it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care about the label at the end. It's just like if the label can be really nice, but if the beer inside is shitty, it's not tasteful. It's
Right.
you won't notice the label, or maybe you will notice the label because like, hey, I will never buy that beer again,
Yeah.
But I think it's just Messorem. It's what, I'll be really honest here. Maybe it's the beer, maybe it's the alcohol at that time of the night.
Go for it.
The fact that Messorem, we're not rich people that decided to open a brewery because that was cool. Messorem, we are still doing the beer ourselves. We're doing the labels. We're doing the barrels. Gabriel is tasting the barrels. He's testing everything. He's packaging his bottles. Like all the while it's Gabriel. Like we're doing stuff. We still have our hands in that products, and for us, it's really important because if you don't do that, it's because you lost the passion about it. It's the day that someone else will design the cans of Messorem, it will be something else. It will be something that I can't control.
Let's give some applause for that.
Give some motherfucking applause.
I just think that 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got to
There we
stop.
go. There we go.
Going back. No, I feel
well
you,
said,
man.
man. Well said.
And like, I get it. And it's like, you guys are doing your thing. You're just being real. And it's getting compliments it's a weird thing. I think you just got to be like, the compliment is not about you. It's about the person wanting to show their respect. So sometimes what I've learned over the years is if someone wants to say something nice, you're like, it's about the person wanting to express that. I've obviously been someone, if I've met one of my favorite artists, I'm like, oh, bro, you're the sickest cunt. Like, I appreciate you. Thank you for what, like, they might not want to hear it, but it's important for me to express my gratitude to that person. So if someone gets to meet you and you happen to be the guy that makes the labels that they really love, the beer that they really love, whilst they love Messorem as the company, they're meeting you, so they're going to pass that on to you. And I don't know, it's a strange thing that you probably didn't expect to deal with, because most industries wouldn't get that. Beer is this weird thing. Why do we have a podcast about beer? Isn't it weird?
But just the fact that being out there, showing our faces, being loud on social medias, getting reactions from people that I don't even know. For real, I went to that festival in Poland, and then after I did a little travel on my own by myself.
You went to Berlin.
Yeah, 4 days on my own in Berlin.
Look fire, man.
Dude, yeah, I went to that abandoned amusement
park.
But dude, I did that post just like without any back idea in my mind, just like posting it, and I received so many messages. And I'm a busy guy, like I work all the time. My brain is like running 24/7. I'm like, and so many messages and stuff. I regretted it, posting it. I was just like, I regret posting that post because I received too many messages. And since then, I didn't post anything, not even a single story on Instagram, because
it's too much.
I don't want to get that attention. I don't want to hear, like, it's too much. Like, people are like expecting stuff, and they're like, rah, rah, rah. Like, and I don't know. It's just like I think I had my my quota of social network. I think I can't
for a bit.
And I would delete my Instagram right now and my Facebook but the fact that I have so many friends in that business, all the brewers that I met all over the world, they're on my Instagram. That's where I talk to them. I don't even text them, even if I have their phone number. It's easier on Instagram. You know that. You guys know.
Yeah.
So I can't delete my Instagram because of that. But like for real, I don't want to post any more fucking canvases that I do. I don't want to. I want to quit. I want to quit everything. I don't want to be. And I can't. I was this close from telling you guys that I won't be doing that podcast because I don't want to show myself. I just think it's getting too much. It's like internet. It just the internet thing. What we see, the Gaza, like free Palestine, like hashtag free Palestine, please. Like everything I see, it's just
a lot. It's a lot.
It gets like
it's suffocating. It's suffocating for sure.
Yeah. I want to fucking go in the middle of Canada, top of a mountain with a little tent. Give me like I don't know, like a knife and
A fire.
Yeah, like a lighter and a knife, and leave me alone. I think we have to go. We have to come back to what it used to be like. Let's get back to 79.
Yeah, let's get back. It's a Wu-Tang reference for people.
Exactly.
I got that. I see you.
Thank you. But yeah, I think the world is, and I'm not Messorem right now. I'm myself. I'm talking about myself. I just think the world is running way too fast. And that's what I liked about the pandemic when they had the curfews and stuff. Like the world kind of stopped for a minute. And it felt great because the world was fucked.
It was crazy.
But right now, they were like, oh yeah, let's fuck it like a little
go hard.
And right now it's just crazy. Like get a pound of butter. How much is it? $10?
Too much
for butter. $10. Like
everything in a fucked place.
So expensive, and I think we're fucked, and
it's hard to focus on beer maybe when you know the world is in a pretty bad place.
But maybe like a good craft beer will put that smile back on your face.
It can help you escape for a minute.
Yeah, warm up your heart a little bit, you know. And and you know, craft beer, some people are really into it, you know, I feel like I used to be 10 years ago. And I think that this is really nice to see the people that are still like so in love with craft beer. They're like dedicated to it. They're still going to fucking Hill Farmstead on a Wednesdays. They want to the last release and stuff. I used to be that way, and it felt so nice, just like being excited to go to travel somewhere, to go to Treehouse, and you know you want those beers so bad, but at the end, when you're like at the door, you're like sold out. You know, I've been there. You go to Treehouse and then you have nothing because you waited 4 hours in line. You know, I've been there, done that. But yeah, the fact that the world is going so weird. Yeah, maybe beer is helping some people to see
to get past it, you know, and to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't want to get pessimist.
No, I feel what you're saying. Well, you're being real. I get it, man.
The world's heavy right now.
The world's heavy, and beer is making it a little easier, I think.
Yeah, and my job is to find beer names related to death. So I'm always thinking about death.
Oh, that. Oh,
It's so depressed, like
that's pretty heavy.
it's so depressed. I'm just thinking about like death all the time. I feel like killing myself. But no.
None of that. Look, I totally
But
get
you
it.
know what it is. I mean, just it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy in the world we're living in, and
I understand. I appreciate your honesty, man. I
but
feel
yeah, I want to thank you guys first. I don't think it's over. Is it? I don't know. But thank you for having me on that podcast. For real, like I'm just one of those people working in that industry, and the fact that you guys asked me to do that, it means the world to me. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Man.
Cheers, man. I'm actually drank all my beers, so I got nothing.
So have I. Yeah, my glass is empty. Oh man.
I was gonna say, but I got to piss really crazy, so I'm gonna pause.
Take it.
Take that champagne. Take the champagne, please.
Yeah.
Pour me a glass. Let's take a quick pause. We'll take a quick piss, and then we'll come back and we'll finish it up, and I'll finish that conversation. So we'll be back in a second. And we are back. But
we are back.
So what we were saying before, Filion, it's just like I totally get where you're coming from. I very much feel that pessimistic vibe about the world. It's hard to be aggressively optimistic about the future of the planet, but I guess the easiest way to look at it, as far as this is concerned, is that craft beer makes people happy. It is something that's a bit of a hobby. It gives people a reason to do stuff, to get out there, to support small business, obviously it's not the healthiest thing in the world. We're all very conscious of that.
Yeah, like it's just to interject, like it's one of those things that I've always felt strongly that like it shouldn't be your only passion. Is the only thing, but it's a very worthwhile passion to like mix into your life.
Yes.
If it makes you travel and meet people and stuff, it's a social, it gives you like
absolutely
option, social life. I don't know. I think it's nice. I used to be that guy traveling and stuff, and yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, well, like if everything in the world is fucked up, well, you know what's not fucked up is my beer fridge. And my beer fridge makes me happy. And I want to support. Do you know what makes me happy is giving money. If I'm going to spend my money, I want to spend my money in places that I know the people behind. Yeah. I'm going to buy the beer from the breweries. Nate's going to Montreal. I'm like, are you going to Messorem? Because whatever you get a bunch of stuff. We'll split a whole bunch of stuff. Go to those breweries because I know Filion, I know Vincent. I want to put my money in that. I go to my local cafes. When I was in Montreal, I went to them. When here in Hamilton, I go to all my local cafes. I know all the owners.
Dude, this is the nicest thing you said in the whole podcast. For real. Like you said things about beer and of course you said things about beers. But this is what I can take as a co-owner of a brewery. Like I don't feel
a funny way about like
those words, it's better than, oh, you're good at this, you're good at that, oh, you guys are killing it. No, I'm not good with that, but that's what you said. That's what you said about the fact that you're you support a local enterprise, local business and stuff. This is what I'm all about. It's if you understand, you don't want to get your bread from, you want to get your bread warm.
Like Galen Weston doesn't need any more of our fucking money.
Do you know what's been the best thing?
You want to go to independent places.
Yeah, independent. Have you guys been doing the Loblaws boycott this month? Because we have. It's amazing. I like. You're right, Nate, when you say Galen Weston doesn't need more of your money, and like because there's no Fortinos in Quebec. So I'd never heard of it. And Fortino's is pretty lit, but it's owned by Loblaws.
It's Loblaws, yeah.
And what basically like they're doing like I don't know who they is, the internet, I guess, are doing a Loblaws boycott in May 2024. And Tiff and I have been doing a Loblaws boycott. We haven't been into any stores. We've only been into local butchers, fish shops, like there's a place called Goodness Me out here that's like an organic, fruit, vegetable, like a mini supermarket. And we've only shopped locally. And we always shop locally, but then sometimes we get stuff from the larger stores, but we don't even get stuff from the larger stores anymore. And I'm like, the eggs we're getting are way better. They're that fucking like deep orange, like a look, and they taste better. The little things that we're getting just taste better. Oh, pups, we about the pups here on BOS. We love the pups. What a cutie.
Yeah, she was just like, hey, Dad, can
you give us some attention here?
What's her name?
Mia.
Mia, what's breed?
Italian Greyhound.
Italian Grey. I was gonna say, okay, it's either Whippet or a Greyhound.
A little bit thick for Italian Greyhound.
I was gonna say she's chilling. She's having a good life. She's living good. But like going to these local spots, and we go to all the local cafes, and we know the owners for most of them, and I speak to them every single time, and I'm like, "What's up?" We post about them because I want them to survive. I want them to not survive. I want them to thrive. I want them to win. We go to the local spots, and it's really important. And I feel like one of the things that I learned now being away from Quebec is how great Quebec does with supporting local. Quebec is one of the best places I've ever been to with supporting local. Vermont's really good too, but Quebec is like next level. And I love that so much. And I think that's really what it's about, is that like, well, Messorem is a beautiful business that's run by 4 cats that are just hustling. They didn't come from money, like you said. You just had an idea. You were tired of driving to another country every other week to get what you needed and wanted to create it. And but you fucking did it. You created it and you delivered what we needed. And as an ex-Montrealer, you delivered what I needed, bro. And I appreciate that.
Do at home without us buying beers every 2 weeks. I don't know if it's hard,
but it's like you've given people, I think it's really what it comes down to. You've given people something to support and something that's like really dope, and you've put you guys amongst a few other, like a handful of other breweries have put really Montreal on the map. There's a bunch of older school breweries like Dunham and Unibrew and fucking all these different reasons for people to come to Quebec or Montreal. But now, there's a whole bunch of breweries that
come to Montreal. Fucking Melon, Brewski,
Silo.
Yeah.
Silo.
Yeah.
There's, like Melon is killing it.
There's good shit in Montreal. There's good shit in Montreal for sure.
Yeah, Melon, they have to get out there. They have to, like people are talking about Suarez family, and they're like, I'm like, for real, like I've been there. I had so many Suarez, but I prefer Melon. Melon, they gotta be discovered. They gotta go out there. They gotta go on tour.
Yeah, they need to go on tour.
Take the fucking road.
I had a couple of their Crispies recently, and they were so insane. We have to get them back on the pod. They haven't been on for a couple of years. We got them on there when they first opened.
It was their anniversary.
It was.
Yeah.
With her toys. But anniversary last week.
Yeah. You guys did a beer, right?
Yeah. No, we didn't do anything for that.
Okay.
For anniversary this year, but everything I had, it was
crazy. Yeah, they really killing it. It's just I feel like it's a special Montreal craft beer right now is special, man. Every time anybody goes, I've got a list I give to everyone. I'm just like, go to these places. You're gonna have a fucking great time.
No, you're not hurting for choice there.
No,
we always had high standards in Quebec. Like Aval, he's doing stuff, high standards.
Like there is shit. Like there is shit in Quebec that is legit best in the world.
Yeah, amen.
Dude, the guard, they know what they're doing.
Well,
yeah, they do.
And Judiciel Pache Mortel
is the greatest coffee stout on
best coffee stout in the world.
No question.
Pretty much. And
You can't
wherever
argue.
you go in the world, you will get asked, or people will talk to you. They will, they will tell you about Patient Martel because it's well known.
It put Quebec craft beer on the map globally.
Yeah.
But
Along with
UDCL
Unibrew.
is all over the world. You're like wherever you go, people know UDCL more
Yeah.
than Unibrew.
Yeah,
It's-
that's a good point.
All right,
Yeah.
fellas, I need to be up in less than 6 hours. We got to wrap this shit up.
So let's wrap it up. So stick around. We're gonna wrap this up, Filion, then we'll finish up afterwards, just because we're gonna make sure everything uploads. But first and foremost, brother, thank you again for taking the time, for hanging out, for being so honest and having such a real conversation. I really hope people appreciate it, and I know that there's a lot of Messorem fans here that would just be happy to hear you talk about it honestly and real. So thank you again for just taking the time. You've just always been a real dude to me personally. I can speak to every time you and I have connected and hung out and spoken. You've just been like a real motherfucker, man. I appreciate that. You've always taken care of us, and just
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. And I can say for both Nate and I, we're just here at BAOS, we're just huge fans of the brand, of everything you all as a group are doing. And it's I think it's really important that we shine some light on what it is that you're doing, and please keep doing it in the way that's authentic to you, because it's moving Quebec and Canadian craft beer forward and really putting Canada on the map. I really feel like Canadian craft beer, I'm going to say it here, I think Canadian craft beer,
I would say putting Quebec back on the map.
Putting Quebec,
that's how I see it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because UDCL and Unibrew used to be the biggest fucking shit in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry for it.
No. I agree with you. All I would say is that I think that Canadian craft beer is the best in the world. I'm just saying that.
Wow.
I know it's a big call. It's a big call.
You can't say that, but not because of Messorem.
No, not because of Messorem, but Messorem are a big part of that. I think between Quebec and Ontario, I feel like we have the best two craft beer scenes in anywhere. Like, I feel like we could challenge anywhere in the States and be like.
To be honest with you, I think craft beer exists because of Quebec. Unibrew,
that sounds right.
Stuff, they started because craft beer is a brand new thing in Europe.
Yeah,
it's a brand new thing, and it's been here for last, I don't know, like 20 years.
Longer, yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing. Either way, we're grateful for you. Where can everybody find Messorem online and in real life?
Say what?
Where can everybody find what's the social handles for Messorem?
Messorem, Messorem. If you type that on Instagram search or Facebook, you will find us. Or messorem.beer, messorem.co. Yeah,
messorem.co is the website there. You better order all your gear.
Yeah. So what?
You can order all your merch, and you can order beer to pick up as well.
Yes, exactly. No shipping on the beer, but you can get some t-shirts and glasses for shipping.
You're damn right you can. Brother, thank you so much. Stay put. We'll finish up afterwards, but thank you again for taking the time and for having some beers with us.
Thanks to you guys for having me. It's I wasn't expecting that. I'm not really used to that kind of stuff, and you guys made me really comfortable doing this. And I don't feel like myself doing this. But yeah, you guys did great, and you guys are passionate about the beer, and that's why you guys are doing this. And like, what else can I say? It's just thank you guys.
Glad to hear that, man. It's been a genuine pleasure to hang with you tonight.
Thanks. Thank you guys.
Stick around. Let's just finish it up. Me and Nate will wrap this up, and then we'll talk off air and we'll wrap it up. And Nate, where can everyone find you online, you legend?
It's everywhere at Nathan Does Beer.
Messorem.
Yeah.
Thanks. no.
I need that sound. I need the DJ the sound effect. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell, Nathaniel.
Ding.
So we can so you can what do I say? Oh fuck.
Know when the new drops.
Thank you. Follow us everywhere at BOS Podcast. Check out the long form audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. You know the fucking vibes. We'll see you in the next one, legends. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.